This is Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for October 21st, 2025. The White House on Monday started tearing down part of the East Wing to build Trump's $250 million ballroom, despite lacking approval for construction from the federal agency that oversees such projects. Trump had said in July that the ballroom would not interfere with the mansion itself. Trump wants us to believe that he needed the ballroom, to paraphrase AC/DC, because he has the biggest balls of them all. Police arrested Billy Joe Cagle, 49, of Cartersville, Georgia, at the Atlanta airport on Monday after getting a tip from his family that he was planning to shoot up the airport. Police found a loaded AR-15 assault rifle and ammunition in his truck outside the South Terminal. No motive has been released, but it is reported Cagle is a schizophrenic felon. So Trump's DOJ is looking for a liberal LGBTQ Antifa connection. 66-year-old Sunday Joseph from Washington, D.C., who Maryland police say drove into a child's birthday party, killing one person and injuring 13 others, has turned himself in. Joseph turned himself in the morning after the crash, but is not currently in custody. I'm sure that he didn't wait to turn himself in so that any drugs and alcohol would have time to leave his system. That would be wrong. This has been a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for October 21st, 2025. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement
Sunday
of
will
fact.
never be the same.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
I don't know. Sure, why not have some coffee? And good coffee or not. And good iced tea and cold. How about that? Not today. I don't know about anything.
Damn good coffee.
I'm just
And
gonna
hot.
push buttons and see what happens, okay?
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Yeah, that one seems to work. Somewhat.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Yeah, how about a boom, boom, boom?
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy.
All right,
It's
we're up to
time
fucking
for
damn wire.
Coffee
Let's go.
with a Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause I don't know. Am I looking bright? I'm a bright guy. What's going on over there? Hung up on YouTube. Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday, October 21st, right? Is that right? October, 21st, 2025. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Blah, 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 blah. Yesterday, as you know, was our 1,000th show and had a good time with Jackie. And now what? We're on to our next 1,000 and we're off to a rip-roaring start with no guest. And all we have to talk about is bullshit. Bullshit. In the same, Trump tearing, it's very symbolic that Trump is tearing a hole in the White House. If you've seen the pictures, it kind of is him standing next to a hole, looks like a bomb hit the White House. quite symbolic. I am so sick and tired of the cult of stupids. Um, I just yesterday I saw a clip of Greg Flatnose Stupid Face Gutfeld saying, "Well, if you want to measure authoritarianism," he sounds a little like Willie these days. If you want to measure authoritarianism, you could start with closing schools and parks and all that stuff, and Joe Biden is the king of that. No, Flatnose Stupid, that's not the case. Really not the case. Because the schools, by the time Joe Biden was sworn in, were open again. The parks were open again. All that shit that you claim is representative of what a king would do actually happened under Donald Trump. Congratulations. You made the case. Now go join the crowd for no kings. Oh, YouTube's hanging up all over the place over here, and I don't know what's going on, whether it's my home or just YouTube. But we got a little bit of, but the denial from these folks is just off the charts. And the dick worship. Here's a problem we have in America, and it just sounds like trivial nonsense bullshit, but it's a problem. When you hear that? That's a real problem. When the president of the United States and the governor of California are having literal AI shit dropping from airplanes contests, this is where we are, America. If you don't think the rest of the world is laughing at us, when the president of the United States and the governor of the largest economic engine state in the country are dropping shit, literal shit from AI, literal shit. So it's virtual shit in AI on each other. This is what idiocracy is here, folks. It's here to stay. And where are my bots? I don't have any bots from Kick today. Oh, there's one. A bot just kicked in, right? Probably. Yeah, it's just as I said that. Oh, what are your wow? That's not a bot. What are your thoughts on the U.S. current state? Oh, really? I was just giving. It's shit. It's not a bot. Wow, Lucky League 6. What are you doing on Kick in the land of bots? So TD's here. We'll probably just bash Trump for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, 9 hours, whatever we do. If you notice, I'm wearing my Robert Taylor comedy T-shirt here. Yesterday, I was remiss in not wishing Robert Taylor, my best friend Robert Taylor, happy birthday. I don't know what he is. He's probably like 100 or maybe less. But Robert, as you know, was an important part of the program for a while until GD showed up. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it was GD or Willie, but he hasn't been around a lot lately. I have heard from him recently just because he saw, I can't think of Richie Zambora. He saw a video about Richie Zambora's acoustic guitar tone. He wanted to let me know about it. That's the last I heard about. I think he's, I don't know, something happened to it. It was something on this program. Because he was here every day. He was here every day for months and months. And then, I don't know if it was Willie or GD, but one of them offended him in some way, and he's never coming back. It's gone. He's never coming back. Anyway, I got stuff to do today, so VA shows and things like that. I want to mention this shirt. This is now available. Shirts of this design, cups of this design. It says, I hate them for free. It's a picture of the orange pig on the T-shirt, and in big orange writing, I'd hate him for free. You could wear that and trigger your MAGA dipshit friends. And, oh, look, you do hate him. Yeah, I hate him. I hate him. What's not to hate? The guy's knocking a hole in the White House while the government is shut down. Now, here's one more thing that I'm going to say about this before I go to a commercial. The asshole, the dipshit, the pedophile rapist tells you he's got $17 trillion on the tariff shelf. And he says by December, it will be 22 trillion. I don't know where he gets these numbers from. But listen, that's a fucking lie. And if you believe it, you're a fucking moron. But nobody has the fucking common sense to ask him, well, why is the government shut? You know how fucking much money $17 trillion is? There's no need to forget the continuing resolution. Boom. That will fund the government for a long time. Just saying. Somebody asked him, well, where's this tariff shelf money? Oh, there's no real tariff shelf. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but there's no such thing as a tariff shelf. Yeah. You know what? It just makes me feel like I need some money.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now, a man. Why do I always say R? Because I are retarded, and that's the R word. I are retarded. In the room with me now is a man who never ever drops shit on. Well, maybe occasionally. G.D. Fenderson, Jeep Fenderson, Jeep Henderson. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Jeep Henderson. Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Why, it's day 20 of our Coffee with the Dog government shutdown.
No, you said day 20 yesterday.
I'm sorry, day 21. It's day 21. I forgot to change it on my calendar. I did. I forgot to change it. It's day 21 of our Coffee with the Dog government shutdown advent calendar. What do we have today? Well, let's open this bad boy up. Why, it's the official Coffee with the Dog magnifying glass. Read the fine print before you vote again, you jackass. I'm so tired of people voting and then saying, I didn't know he'd do that. Yes, there is a light. See there's a light, but it doesn't work because it's the government policy to keep you in the dark. Get your Coffee with the Dog government shutdown advent calendar while shutdown and supplies last. All proceeds from the sales of the government shutdown advent calendar go to a cause.
A cause.
Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
Have we even come close to identifying what the cause is yet? We don't know.
Cause.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we've come close to identifying the cause, a cause. Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to, just throw that out there, just in case the cause changes.
Yeah.
Cause.
So tomorrow we have filmmakers coming on. A movie about Vietnam and Native Americans.
Okay.
You get the linkage there?
Yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah.
All right. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I think I should. Something about sign language or code. What are you?
Well, but now I know in World War II we used Native Americans as to basically to transmit messages,
right?
Because they weren't familiar with the Native American tongue,
right?
Now in
similar, but I don't know.
Now in Vietnam, it may have been we needed someone to test the hash before the white men smoked it.
Oh,
I don't know.
I would have done that. I would have signed up for that. Are you white? No, I'm Pushpatak. Check it out. I'll take a blood test. So somebody, who the fuck was it now? I forget. Oh, Tucker Carlson is now on this. See, I don't. Maybe you can explain this to me because you're much more in line with Tucker Carlson's thinking than I am. And I think RFK Jr. touched on this at some point. Oh, that
can't be good if he touched on it.
Right. Well, there was a dead bear in or something. But that COVID was engineered in a lab in Wuhan,
Right.
China,
Right.
with the express purpose of sparing Ashkenazi Jews because what's happening is, here's the conspiracy theory, that when you put in your data to 23andMe or all these ancestry.com, you send them your DNA, they look that up and they can experiment with that, and they can create a virus that only targets certain races, certain creeds, certain whatever your DNA is. But the part where I am really confused is, why would China try to spare Ashkenazi Jews? Can you explain that to me like I'm like I have half a brain?
No, because the person who came up with that only had a quarter of a brain. And if that was designed, I am 9% Ashkenazi Jew, 9%, just 1% short of a tithe. And
Seems kind of cheap.
yeah, well, like I
Cheap
said,
Jew.
a tithe is a full 10%, and I'm only 9%. So,
Yeah.
and I got COVID twice. Okay. And my wife, who, let me see if I can do the math right. If I'm 9% Ashkenazi Jew, and my wife and I've had sex a few thousand times, I think she's 18% Ashkenazi Jew.
Well, I think your thinking is off here. You're 91% not Ashkenazi Jew. So that 91% that's not Ashkenazi
No,
Jew,
I'm only 91% not.
that's what I said, 91%.
Oh,
So that 91% of you is the part that got COVID. The other 9% was just like out, I don't know,
I
controlling the
remember
media.
having the COVID, and I had it from head to toe.
Wow.
100% of me got the COVID.
Wow, even the 9% Ashkenazi?
That's right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's bullshit.
Hmm.
And my wife has as much Ashkenazi Jew in her as I have in me because of all the sex. And she
Wow.
got COVID 3 times, and the first time it almost killed her.
Yeah. Well, now they go even further into the anti-Semitism by saying the people who run these DNA banks and data banks, they're all the Jews. They're all Ashkenazi Jews. So that's what. But it still comes down to where does China benefit from?
Okay, let's take this to this illogical conclusion. How would China benefit? Well, okay, hear me out.
Get better bagels.
No, hear me out. Hear me out.
Oh.
China knows that Israel is always bombarding shit and busting shit up. And they knew that Israel was going to be fucking up Gaza, and Gaza would need to be rebuilt. So China says, okay, we are going to spare the Jews from COVID if you give us the contract to rebuild Gaza.
No. Wait, I think you're missing something here. Not all Jews are Ashkenazi Jews. All Ashkenazi Jews are Jews, but so when you say Israel, I don't think most Israel is Ashkenazi Jews. I think there's
Yeah, but the ones in charge are Ashkenazi, right?
really
I don't know.
Benny Netanyahu.
I don't think he's in charge. I think he's that. I think actually probably he's hanging on by thread. He really
Well,
needs this. He
I would
really needs this
appreciate it
war.
if somebody would just break that thread.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
the man is.
Yeah. So, but this whole idea, because Fox News is now on. Well, Joe Biden was a king. Show me how Joe Biden was a king. Well, he shut down schools and parks and.
No, and he stepped down. Kings don't step down. You have to drag him out dead.
Right. Well, he didn't shut down anything. He opened them up. But by the time he was sworn in, all those things were already wide open. Things got
Yeah.
shut down in March of 2020. Donald Trump was still president for another 7-8 months. What was it? Whatever it was. 9 months.
10 months, I think, because he was.
There you go. It just
right.
keeps going up.
Yeah, 10 months.
So yeah, it's just ridiculous. Joe Biden, if Joe Biden was president, was king, why did Donald Trump even get in office? That wouldn't have happened. He would have just either just kept going or named the Harris king or queen, whatever. But Trump wouldn't be. There you go. I mean, it's just it's insane. And then now they're arguing that nobody showed up except white-haired old people. And I do think there's a lot of boomers out there. There's no doubt about it. A lot of boomers out there. But and I said this to Adam Mockler yesterday. That said it to him. I wrote it to him on his Twitter. There are a few young podcasters, people like that, who have some influence on the left, but they're not doing any kind of good job like the right wing influencers are doing and getting the youth involved. I think there are a lot of young, stupid people who are totally into the Joe Rogan bro podcasters and becoming politically activated by them. And I don't think the young lions on the left are doing anything to attract their own generation. They're attracting boomers. We don't need more boomers.
No, I don't actually quite agree with that. I think we may be looking in the wrong places. I think where we would look for people, we would find our own old people like us. But
Did you see young people out there in the marches?
I did, yeah.
I didn't.
Now,
The videos, you can't really tell too much about what's there, but what is this Russ White saying? No talent? Who is he talking about? Me, you, or the podcasters? No talent.
I don't know. I'm just hoping
is he an agent for?
I'm just hoping he's not talking about Sam, because that would get him banned, because you love Sam Talent. And if he's talking about Sam,
yeah, but he doesn't spell his name that way.
Oh,
So.
okay. I don't know. I've never seen Sam.
Two L's in talent for some reason.
Okay, talent.
Oh, okay.
Talent.
Yeah. Are we having problems on some of our networks here? I'm seeing like a lot of them sticking and whatever. Maybe it's just me. Maybe we got, and it does. I don't care. It's just another going nowhere show. I want to say thank you to all the people.
He did podcasters.
Well, I think there's some talent. And Luke Beasley is a and Adam Mockler, very sharp people. It's Harry Sassoon guy, whatever his name. I think he's just agitator. He's one of these guys who just but he's not as well informed as the other two. I think Brian Tyler Cohen, he's pretty sharp dude. There's some talent out there. They're just not, for some reason. I think there's not enough testosterone to appeal to young men, right? They like the guys with the muscles and stuff. It's homoerotic, isn't it? It's homoerotic, right? No,
it's funny.
You're a little.
Well, see, I'm not like with I'm not with Ron on the whole country's bisexual train, but there are a lot of people who have a misguided idea of what strength is.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they go by the bulkiness, and they think that's strength. And I can tell you from quite a few bar fights that I've been in that having all those muscles does not help them if they do not know how to fight.
Yeah. Tommy Monahan was like 5'6", and I saw him beat up a guy who was 6'9", like all hulked out, like Lou Ferrigno. And Tommy was not, he wasn't Mr. Weight Room or any. He was a high school wrestler who knew how to wrestle and take a guy down. So
that's why I was laughing, because I've been in a number of bar fights because, and it's always been some mouthy white guy. It's always been some mouthy white guy. Yeah,
they don't want to make them. Guy. I don't know where you get. There's no such thing.
Okay, big unintelligent white guy. Who, and because they weren't intelligent, couldn't control their mouths. Now, true, sometimes I instigated it in the sense that if I saw a guy pulling on a woman and the woman was resisting, I would step in. I would step in to make sure she was okay. I said, "Are you all right?" And if she said no, I said to the guy, "Leave him alone. Leave her alone." She obviously does not want to go with you.
Well,
So yeah, so some of those bar fights I did initiate, but I was basically doing what my mother asked me to do, and that is make sure that women don't wind up in awkward positions where they could be raped, like she was.
I'm not like I have 3 instances of chivalry in my life. 2 of them have gone really, really bad. One of them was, I think I talked about it before, where I saw this woman getting beaten up. They was under a traffic light. Guy was out of his car.
This is the one where the woman beat you up.
They were under a traffic light, and when the guy got out of the driver's side, went around to the passenger side, and opened the door and was beating this girl up. And I went and I grabbed him and I threw him up against the car and I started hitting him. And then I felt the knife go in my back. The woman stabbed me in the back for beating up her boyfriend, who was beating her up. And that didn't. I had to go to the hospital. I missed my kidney by that much. I mean, but that was not a good act of chivalry on my part. And then there was another time, Pastime Pub. I shouldn't be giving all of the, in case the guy's out there and still looking for me. A guy was sitting. Remember, they had the old bowling tables where it was it's like sawdust and something on, or sand or dust, wood dust, wood shaving, and you slide it like a hockey puck down, and these pins would go up into the machine like that. Right. Guy was sitting on that, and it was right across from the ladies' room. And as the women were coming out of the ladies' room, he was kicking the door closed on them. He was trying to get their attention, kicking it, and he hit this girl right in her face and hurt her nose. And she was like, she wasn't bleeding or anything, but she was holding her nose and she was like almost in tears. And I went over to him and I said, you're a fucking dick. He said, let's go outside. I said, the fuck no. I had a beer in my hand. And I cocked him with a beer mug, and the beer mug broke. And now I got a jagged weapon with a handle on it, and I'm on top of the guy, and I just started chopping him up with it. And the bouncer came over to grab me, and I went to tell the bouncer what he did. I looked at the bouncer, and I felt, and the guy bit on my thumb.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I still have the fucking scars here where he bit clear through the thumb. And then I kept hitting him to get in his mouth, and he went unconscious. Now he's locked on my thumb, and there's blood shooting everywhere. And one bouncer is pulling him that way, and the other bouncer is pulling me this way, and I could see the bone starting to come through. But then I chopped the guy up pretty good, and then I had to go to the hospital. We went out the back door, come around the front, and everybody is out there. All his friends are out there waiting for me, like, we're gonna get the guy. And I'm just like sitting there right next to him in the car, like, are we gonna make the turn to go to the hospital? Then so they took that guy to the same hospital. He got patched up. He goes back looking for me, and he's crossing the street looking at in all the bars in the neighborhood. He gets hit by a car, and then he's laying there in the street. And the cops come to help him out, and then he starts a fight with the cops, and the cops fucked him up. He ends up in a fucking hospital. I only know this because it was in the paper. But so that chivalry has not worked out for me. The only other time it kind of worked out was a guy who's now sort of a friend, Steve Husbands, was. He had a, remember they used to have these vending machines, and you get like a tiny little pocket knife thing. They had those bubbles, and he had a tiny little pocket knife, and he was stabbing this girl, Irene. We were in Spanish class. He was stabbing her in the leg, like trying to get her, I don't know, like a little boy pulling a girl's hair to get her attention. And she was like, well, stop. And he wasn't stopping. And I was sitting right next to him, and I just clapped him in the head, and he was and he just fell to the ground. And that was the only time chivalry ever worked out for me at all. But the girl wasn't impressed. It's not like she didn't even say thank you. Like, all right, fuck you. But so I don't get involved anymore. If I see somebody else, I'm not getting stabbed for a woman who's gonna, she's getting beat up by a boyfriend, and then she ends up stabbing me because I stopped him from beating her up. That ain't happening.
Anyway. I don't. Matter of fact, the last time that I had to be, and I'm saying had to be, because like I said, it's almost ingrained in me. If somebody's in trouble, I am not slow. It's hip hip hip, and away I go. No, sorry, that's from one of the cartoons when I was a kid. But it was a couple years ago. I was at maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I was at an open mic, and this woman was there with her boyfriend, and they were having a really good time. Now the thing was over. The open mic was over with, and they were still there having a couple of drinks, and I was packing up my speakers, my PA. I was packing up my PA system and my mic, and they were talking to me while I was packing up. And this guy, this guy walks in, and he reeks of alcohol, big guy. And he sees her in the corner, and he says, "This who you left me for?" And I stayed out of it while they were just mouthing. As long as he was just mouthing, I was fine. You can mouth all you want to. It's a free country. But then he went to reach for her, and that's when I stood between them. And I said, "You're not going to do that in front of me." I said, "Just get out. Just get out." And now this is where the mistake was. There was a bunch of guys I was hanging out with at that night that were all these guys were all, some of them were still wrestlers, professional wrestlers. You can find them on the internet now still wrestling. And the other ones were like, one was a retired wrestler, but he was not like old. He was younger than me, but big guy. Another one, I think he was also retired, but he was still a man of a healthy size. And the other one is still wrestling. So they were, yeah, and none of them had my back. Not one of them had my back. That's okay, fine. I don't need their back. Because the only thing I didn't want to happen was, because this is a place that let us do a venue that let us have our open mics there, I didn't want to ruin it for everybody. So all of a sudden we don't have the open mic there. We don't have that. And so I was trying to have the guy walk out peacefully without me having to break him up into a couple of pieces. And I thought with the extra muscle, he would, back down peacefully and walk out.
Nah, that never happens.
Well,
they have to be put down.
Well, he
like a dog.
Like I said, he was much bigger than me. And he said something to me like, "Do you expect to stop me?" I said, "If I couldn't, I wouldn't be standing here." And and that's when he walked out. And he walked out into the parking lot, and I said to her, I said, "If you feel safe," I said, if you want, I will walk you to your car." And so I walked her to her car, and we didn't see him around, but when she pulled off, I saw his car follow her. And I thought to myself, shit, I can't follow her, because I still had the rest of my stuff inside, because I walked her out to her car while my stuff was still in the bar, the bar, the pub. So, but that was the last time that I don't think I've been chivalrous since then. But
yeah, I need to look into this. Kyle Kalinske, you're familiar with him, second baseman for the Mets. Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. He's doing great in the playoffs, isn't he?
No, he's taking the playoffs off to become one of these left-wing podcasters.
Okay.
Well, he's been a left-wing podcaster actually since like 2010. He's talking about a civil war in comedy. And Rogan and Andrew Schultz were like yelling about shit yesterday. No, I don't think it's between Rogan and Schultz. I think they're on the same side of it. But I wonder what. I have not watched the video yet, but I'm curious as what he's talking about. Civil war within comedy. I know, some of them at points make. Even Rogan has made some indications that they were moving away from sucking Trump dick. And
right.
But then they go right back to it. Like Rogan was saying basically that everything's a psyop with Trump. He's not who the media tells you he is. No, listen, no psyop. If it was a psyop, it started in 1978 or so when Donald Trump first came on the scene with the Central Park stuff. He's always been an asshole. People who've been around him and in New York, we know very well because he's been like such a prominent figure here. He's always been a dick. It's not like the media started doing this when he decided to run for president. He has always been a dick. He's always outed himself as a dick. I remember 30 years ago, he was on Letterman complaining about all these things that were made in China, and he was pitching his shirt and ties. And Letterman said, "Well, where are these made?" He said, "I don't know. Great quality stuff." And then Letterman goes, "Oh, look, made in China." And he just go, "So what? Yeah, so what? I'm a hypocrite." And basically, that's what he basically did to the crowd. So it's not like this, this idea that he's a side. That's Rogan trying to justify or rationalize in his own mind his support for a guy who's clearly a fucking pedophile and clearly a rapist, and nobody is making that shit up. He always was. So, but what do you think about this idea of a civil war within comedy? I don't see anybody pushing back on these comedians.
I don't know what they mean by civil war in comedy, because
I think it's Mark Maron against everybody else.
And it's not really a war, because conservative comedians, as a general of thumb, aren't funny. And I say that in the sense that now it's not like I've never laughed at a conservative comedian. I have. I really have. Once I remember like 7 or 8 times I've laughed at a conservative comedian.
Can you give me an example of one? Because when you say,
well, I'm not saying funny overall, but it's like a squirrel finding a nut.
Yeah.
Or a broken clock. But the part of the reason that they're not funny is because one of the rules of comedy is to punch up. And conservatives have a tendency to punch down. And sometimes they're saying they're trying to prove a point, like, why can't I say this? Why can't I say this about them? And you can say anything you want about anybody you want, but if it's not funny, it's not funny. Yeah. You just have to be funny. And a lot of what they're coming through is also through places. Now I'm not saying that that progressive comedians have it together either. I'm not saying that, but as a general of thumb, at least they try to punch up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because when you say conservative, or it's conservative has lost its meaning, but the right wing people, I'm thinking of Jim Brewer, I'm thinking of Ron.
Alt-right. Yeah, let's go alt-right then. I'll stop saying conservative. Rob Schneider,
because I do think in the blue collar stuff, those guys get all painted as right wing, but Ron White, who's from Texas, right? I think and part of the blue collar thing. I don't think he's like far right at all. I mean,
I should amend my statement. Instead of saying conservative, I should just say far right.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, far right.
I don't know one of those guys that I think is really funny, or it has even made me laugh in any way. Like the guy Rob Schneider. It's just like, well, why does anybody give a fuck what Rob Schneider has to say about politics or anything? He's just what did he do? What's his claim to fame other than sucking Adam Sandler's dick to get parts in movies or Saturday Night Live, whatever he did. And that Jim Brewer guy with the chicken noises and stuff. I mean, are you performing for 5-year-olds? I mean, yeah, I could make faces at kids. What the hell are you doing? So I don't know. The far right guys. Can't think of one that actually makes me laugh.
No, I'm not saying it makes me laugh consistently. I mean, it's not like I'm not saying. I'm just saying I've heard. I'm just saying that I must have laughed because I'm saying there's like there are comedians like I don't think Kevin Hart is funny, but once in a while he'll say something and I'll laugh, mainly because it's like a shared background thing. Like he and I had like maybe having the similar Black background. I go like, oh yeah, I remember that in the culture. And
honestly, with Kevin Hart, the only thing I really know about his comedy, I know from 30-second reels or like Instagram stuff. I've never watched like any of it, a special or anything like that. All I know is the one that comes to mind, and really the only thing I know about Kevin Hart is what he's talking about. It's Thanksgiving. No need to take a picture of your food. We're all eating the same shit. That's the only thing I can think of that Kevin Hart has ever said. So
and I don't think I remember, and I don't think I've ever seen that one. So
have you watched this special?
Nothing recent because I mean I think I watched part of one. He was at like some kind of stadium or something, and he had like 30,000 or 40,000 people there or something.
Holy fuck!
I mean, it was like a huge stadium thing. And here's the problem: Kevin Hart is already a small person, so you know you're not watching the show. If you're past the 10th row, you're not watching him. You're watching the jumbotron, so you
Yeah.
can see him. You know, so that's. And I'm not trying to make a small joke or anything. I'm just saying physically he's a small
Small
person.
joke.
Right. So
Just a
yeah.
little joke there. Yeah, but you know, I don't know
Now
what his
I'm going to answer something that Sunshine just wrote. Sunshine wrote, and here it
about having a
is.
heart.
Maybe
Kevin
you
Hart,
have a heart first to be funny.
not a Kevin
Now,
Hart.
now I I'm not going to say a heart. I'm going to say self-awareness, and I'm going to say the more self-awareness you have, the funnier you can be. Because society is a mirror, and a lot of times we laugh at stuff, we're laughing at things we see in the mirror in society. And so as a result, if you cannot look in the mirror and see yourself, if you do not have that kind of self-awareness, you're not going to enjoy humor. You're going to be more like a Donald Trump, so to speak. That's now I came to that conclusion recently because I used to believe that uh, you could. I used to believe that I didn't have a sense of humor as a child, and I think I was wrong. I think I just didn't have self-awareness as a child.
Wait a minute. All right, go ahead.
I just didn't have self-awareness, and the more self-awareness I developed, the more humorous I became.
Wow.
So that's my theory.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, that you need self-awareness to be truly funny.
All right. I need your help. Speaking of self-awareness, I tried to look up. I didn't have time to go back to it. I guess I'll do it today. I was looking up the Mel Brooks live at the Geffen to see if, and there were plenty of clips on there, but the clips are like 50 seconds long on the internet, and like he's not talking about any of the stuff.
Right, this is near the beginning. This is like within the first 2 or 3 minutes.
So they say it's on Amazon Prime, but I couldn't find it on Amazon Prime. According to Google, it's on Amazon Prime. I went to Amazon Prime and did searches for Mel Brooks. I couldn't find any of the stuff. It's on like something HBO Max or one of those that I don't
Max, because I saw it on. I'm pretty sure I saw it on HBO.
All right.
If matter of fact, because I remember thinking to myself, if Jackie needs to see it, I can probably videotape it, record it with my camera, not the whole thing, but just that little segment.
Yeah, that's
and send them that clip.
I'd be curious. You know what? I would probably make my day to see. And Jackie seemed like in disbelief about. You're the only one who's ever told him about it. Now that it's not that old, right? Even though Mel Brooks is almost 100.
I don't know how old it is, but the thing is, like again, it sounds like you ever start saying somebody's name and you're not sure you want to finish it or something like that, or or what they call like I think it's there's like vertical mumblification and horizontal mumblification, and I think vertical mumblification is like you muddy up a word so that people don't understand it,
Right,
and then horizontal mumblification would be like you're introducing somebody to somebody. Like you're introducing somebody to you say, "Hi, this is my friend," and you put your hand like and you cover it up so they don't hear the whole word. But
what the hell? So it turns out this live at the Geffen was 2015.
Wow. Okay. So Martin was still around then. Martin
was like 89 or something when he did. Wow, doing a comedy special at 89 years old.
But that's it. It wasn't a true comedy special. And the thing is, and I was watching and I'm going, honey, he's going like 4 minutes without a laugh. My wife goes, that's because it's not a comedy special. This is more like a
one-man show is what
right, a one-man show. Because he was going like for long fucking times without laughs. And then
Mel Brooks, he doesn't have to get a laugh every few seconds.
And that's sometimes they were laughing at stuff that he didn't. I was like, no, don't laugh at that. Don't reward him. That wasn't funny. Don't do that.
They paid to laugh. I paid to laugh. I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But I tried to watch it on Amazon Prime, and he said it's on Prime, but I can't find it on Prime. And I really want. You know what? I'm
I don't
interested in
think you
seeing
should.
the whole
I think
thing
that
now.
you don't need to see the whole thing. Like I said, I will get my video camera out, and I will capture the part where he says it, and I'll put the closed captioning on also, just to see what the closed captioning thinks he says as well.
Yeah, they say it was done for HBO, but now it's on Amazon and HBO Max, Apple TV. I should be able to get it. I don't know. For some reason, it was just like not connecting yesterday. No, but live it together. Geffen
It's just
Playhouse.
now because I also try to think of any other comedians with the name Jackie where the last name sounds like Martling, you
None.
know, and that's
That's
and
why
I couldn't. And I couldn't come up with it. And I did that before I reached out to Jackie to say that, because I'm thinking to myself, what if there's another Jackie Moore, Jackie Martin, Jackie Markey, Jack,
Yeah, Jackie.
And again, it was just a throwaway line. He just used it to set up what he wanted to talk about. He wanted to sing a song, and so he went that route.
Who was I asked this yesterday, and he told me, and now I forgot already. Frosty the Snowman. Jackie something was the voice of.
Right, I don't remember the last name.
It doesn't say who the fucking voiceover is. Damn it! Damn you! I'm at the VA today. Back to the VA. One of these people, everybody who hates Trump supposedly hates America. And I'm like, well, you know what? And one of these guys who was like a big MAGA influencer, I forget his fucking name now. He was all, they're all fucking communists.
Jackie Vernon.
Oh, Jackie Vernon, right? So that's not even close to Martin. Like, no, that wouldn't pass. Everybody who was at the No King, they all hate America. It's like, no. First of all, everybody's getting paid.
Well, first of all, not everybody who did the No Kings was actually doing the No Kings. In Hawaii, they didn't do No Kings.
What'd they do?
No dictators. Because remember, Hawaii was before we invaded it. They had a king and a queen.
King Kamehameha.
And we made them get rid of their king and queen, I think.
Did we?
And so they resent that. So they're not saying no kings. They're just saying no dictators.
I was born on the day Hawaii became a state. You know that?
Yeah, that was your gift.
Yes.
To America.
You're welcome. Where does it go? Oh, so everybody who was at the No Kings thing, or everybody who doesn't like Trump hates America. They're all communists. They stand for transgender. This fucking drives me crazy. They're all trying to push gender mutilation on everybody. It's like I don't know one person who says, I think everybody needs to get transgendered or transition surgery or any of this kind of stuff. And they said, well, the schools are pushing transgender on children. No, they're not.
Yeah.
To be clear, what schools are trying to do, and if you're against this, you're just a dick. They're trying to say, these people exist. You shouldn't bully them. They exist. They have a right to exist. Don't make fun of them. Don't pick on them. Don't bully them. And the opposite of that. And so that's not saying, well, you need to do this. This is saying they exist. They're out there. Don't make fun of them. Don't bully them. Don't belittle them. And if you're against that, you're pro-bullying. That's basically what the case is. So you either have, yes, we recognize their right to exist. We don't have to like them. We don't have to be part of their inner circle or friends with them, but we have to respect their right to exist just as we respect your right to exist. That's it. But they say, well, this guy was saying, well, half of us are going to football games and baseball games and barbecues, and the other half are going to no kings rallies and then causing trouble and promoting communism and terrorism. They're all Hamas supporters. Like, you know what
I just wanted to bring something up only because I wanted to do it yesterday and I didn't think about it until after Ann left. Ann from California, welcome to the show. And did you? My understanding is that there was one missile that misfired when they were firing during that test, when they're testing the missiles into the Fort.
Was it Pendleton? No, Camp.
Yeah, I think it was Fort Pendleton. That there was one missile that misfired, and I guess it blew up. And first of all, could you see the missiles coming in where you are? And two, did you see the missile that misfired? And three, did you wet your pants? And I'll wait for her reply because I'm pretty sure she has to type the answers in.
I would shit my pants. I shit my pants anyway. I just did right just now. But so for this guy who was saying half of us are going to football games, barbecue games. Well, you know what I did this morning? I went and spent time at the VA. Not only did I perform for them, but I volunteered and spent some time with our veterans and gave them some attention that they really, really need. And then I went and did a birthday party for an 8-year-old while you got a DWI and then you beat your wife. And then you went home and got arrested for kiddie porn, which is the typical thing that the Trump supporters are doing. So who really hates America? Who really is the bad guy here? I don't support Hamas. Never supported Hamas. Never. I don't even fucking know really what Hamas is. I know it's a terrorist group. I know they're Palestinian. I don't know where their headquarters is. Is it in Lebanon? Where is the Hamas headquarters? Iran?
Underground. It's under a hospital somewhere. Whatever their headquarters is, it's under a hospital. Or under an elementary school.
When they say Trump is negotiating with Hamas and this ceasefire deals never really happened, by the way. They're still fucking fighting over there.
Right. They're still they're still fighting there. Now they may not be bombing. I don't think Israel is bombing, but they're still killing. They're still killing militants. Yeah. And Hamas is still killing people.
When Trump is supposedly negotiating, who would it call up? Like it's Hamas listed in the phone?
Because a lot of the leaders of Hamas were killed off by Israel. And that was one of the problems that they were saying that Netanyahu kept having the people that he would negotiate a treaty with, he kept having them killed.
But now, how do you get in contact with them? Do we have a headquarters number like a 1-800 Hamas? Who do you talk? Who do you call? Who are you gonna call?
Hamas busters. No, Qatar. I guess you're gonna call Qatar.
Qatar. Oh well, we don't have to call them because we just and they said, "Oh, not exactly how you." It is exactly how you gave them a base, training base within in Idaho. Yeah, and what better place to bring Qatar than Idaho? I don't know if you know this about Idaho, but there's a lot of white supremacists there. A lot.
Now,
neo-Nazis.
Here's the question, because my understanding is that they're just quote giving them access. But let's just say, for example, Qatar has 4,000 troops there that are being trained. I'm just making this number up because this is all shit that I'm making up. You don't have to fact check me. I'm making this up because it's a scenario I'm creating in my head. I'm trying to think like a dictator. Okay. You have 4,000 troops from Qatar who owe you a favor, and you're training them in the United States. And you can't send American troops to attack Americans because most of them won't do it, and it's against the law. And that's probably a line that you can't go beyond. But why not send Qatar troops in as peacekeepers, so to speak? Because they don't have to respect our. They benefit from our Constitution. I mean, if one of them committed a crime, they'd be entitled to a fair trial. So yes.
The way you say it sounds like they're teenage girls cutting their arms for attention or for psychiatric, cutter. That's what
Well, I don't know that they're not. I've never met anybody from there.
they could be. Yeah, that's absolutely
Yeah, I
right.
do not know.
Um,
I've never, and I've met people from. I used to say from all over the world. And I used to be able to say I've met people from almost every country, but so many countries have stopped existing since I grew up, and they stopped. I mean, stop existing like the names changed because of that's fucking long. We've been around for a long time. We've seen a lot of countries become independent, you know, and lose their. We grew up with a map with one name with some names that are no longer there. Wow,
yeah.
we're getting fucking old.
All right. Dustin Sweet is the guest tomorrow, and the film is like Apache. What is it? Something Apache something. Good Morning Apache America. I got to look at Apache Blues. Welcome home. I guess it's about Native Americans who were serving in Vietnam. I didn't even know there was that was a major thing where a lot of I know we were sending a lot of black people to the front line. That's basically what we're doing with the draft.
Well, I think it's kind of like it's. Good morning, Brandon. I guess it's kind of like I was gonna. Damn it! You're talking about black. It's like, and I don't want to compare the two one to one, but I'm just saying, like in the Holocaust, I don't know how many millions of people were killed. There were like 6 million. I'm sorry, hiccups. 6 million Jews, but also millions of other people because there were handicapped people that were killed, gay people that were killed, black people, other minorities that were killed. Now, the vast majority of the people that the largest group that were singled out were Jews. And so when we think of the Holocaust, we think of the Jews that were being slaughtered. And I think in Vietnam, when we think of the minorities that were sent to the front line, we think of the black people that were sent to the front line. But I'm pretty sure that there were like Native Americans right next to us, right next to them, because I didn't go.
Right. Well, you were too young to go.
Oh yeah, I was too young to go, and I was pissed off about that war, but for totally different reasons. I didn't understand the war itself. I just know that they were taking the best kids from my neighborhood that played football. They were taking my friends.
Brendan Starrick was in the program yesterday. Titanium Man. I did not know that was. I know he asked for the link in Facebook yesterday, and I sent him the link, but I didn't know the two. I didn't put the two together like Titanium Man. If you wanna, good morning, grumpy old guys. Is this Stephen the Yes, it is. It's Stephen.
Stephen, don't start any shit. You don't have internet yet. I can't have a battle of wits with an unarmed.
How do you know he doesn't have internet yet?
I don't think he's supposed to have it till Wednesday. This Wednesday.
The primary issue. This is Brendan Starrick saying this. The primary issue with the protesters is that the protesters engage with police as if they are going to convince them of their belief system. Cop used that engagement to deem it unlawful. Assembly protesters must stand with their backs to the police and ignore them. They used the law as a scapegoat. I don't know that happened in this. I think it was pretty orderly. I didn't hear of any.
Right. Now the only arrest of violence that I've heard of was one woman who pulled out a gun and was pointing it at protesters.
Right, and that was a MAGA. She was wearing a MAGA shirt, right? Yeah.
So that's the only arrest that I know of from the thing. Now I'm assuming that there must be other arrests, but that's the only one with violence, as far as I know.
But I was going to say to Brandon,
yeah.
Brandon, not Brendan. There's a difference between a Brandon and a Brandon. If you want to come on the show and promote comedy and all, you're definitely welcome to do that. You can go to minddogtv.com/booking and book a show anytime you want. And we'd love to talk to you about what it is you do and where are you doing it and promote your stuff. Yeah, I don't see it happen at No Kings, but just strategy. I talked about this yesterday. The whole, what does it really accomplish? It makes me feel good to know that there are people who are as equally frustrated with it as me. But what is it really?
Now, Rachel Maddow was doing a thing, and I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing because I was busy doing other stuff. I thought I was going to watch it, and I put it on, but I recorded it, but I didn't watch it. And she was talking about the success rate of what happened, the difference between peaceful protest and not so peaceful protest. And as far as getting results goes, and she was doing like a one-to-one comparison, and as a result, when they're peaceful protests, they get more of the results they're trying to attain than when they're violent protests. So peaceful protests are more successful, and also peaceful protests grow bigger because people don't think like I don't have to fight, I just have to march, so I will join the march. But if you
I
get
don't
a
know how you
protest,
quantify the success part of it, though. Here's where, because a lot of people are saying, well, the marches in 1968 helped bring an end to the Vietnam War. How do you fucking quantify that? How do you know it was the marches and not your dead kid coming home with a box draped in a flag that helped bring people to say enough is enough? I mean, the marches were there as a demonstration of people's angst about that, but I don't know that you equate the marches to bringing an end to the war rather than the dead bodies coming home bringing an end and how do you actually fucking measure that? You can't.
well, I think, and again, I don't think there's it was that and the media. So it wasn't just that. It wasn't just the protest. It was like the protest and the media, and like even like with Muhammad Ali, that brought attention to it too. But Muhammad Ali by himself did not bring an end to it.
Lots of stuff brought attention to it, and
Right.
this is what this film is about tomorrow. It's kind of ABC. People don't realize that, like, until if you're young anyway, until Vietnam, you never really saw a lot. You get newsreels. If you went to in World War II, if you got newsreels, if you went to the theater to see a movie, there'd be a like 1 minute newsreel of things that were
Right.
going on.
Yes.
But in Vietnam War was the first war that was actually televised, and ABC sent a crew over to embed with Native Americans in Vietnam, which is kind of first time people actually saw war almost in real time. I don't know if it was actually, it probably film, right? It was send the film home. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's probably send the film home.
I remember Dan Rather doing some reports, but I think that was film. It wasn't satellite because it was daytime here, and it wasn't daytime there when it's daytime here. Anyway, it's the first war we saw actually unfolding on in television, and that had a lot to do with the end of the Vietnam War. But again, it comes down to how do we measure the success of the? We feel like they had something to do with it, but you can't. There's no way to actually prove that.
But I would think that if nobody complained, nothing would have happened.
No, you got to voice your.
And I don't know how they quantify it, and maybe with AI they can now, but depending on what kind of information they put in, again, AI calculations are going to be based on what kind of shit they put into it.
Is that different than AO? AO,
AI,
AO, AI, AO,
hey you,
hey you. Yeah. I forget. I don't think we're open Thursday. There's no show Thursday. Brandon. Why come somebody? I keep calling him Brendan. If you want to pop in on Thursday, let me know and talk about your comedy stuff. Here's now. Do you have this plausible thing coming up for your birthday or the day after your birthday?
Day after my birthday, November 20th.
All right. Do you know? Like, do you see when people sign? Do you get a notification that somebody just bought a ticket?
I don't. No, no. I guess I could find out by looking. By they have a little thing that says reservations, I think, and I can find out how many people paid or something. But as a general of thumb, on that kind of thing, it'll show zero sales right on up until the day of the show, and then that's when people start buying.
All right. Last night, the reason I'm asking is last night. Well, I've had these pieces of equipment. I'm unloading all the equipment that I don't use, music equipment that I don't use, and I had this Tascam UV1 TP Antares multi effects thing with auto tune in it, and a guy from Facebook wanted to come and buy it, and we'll check it out. He's using auto tune, but he's like my age. He's in a electronica project right now, original music, and they're using auto tune live. It was like, it's not like Melodyne, or it's not even. I mean, I bought this thing probably 15 years ago, and it, remember the share thing? You believe what if you believe that, or yeah, it's that shitty auto tune. I tried to. It's multi effects, and I never used it for the auto tune. There's like a digital delay in there, compression and reverb, and all those kind of things. But the guy was buying it for that. We were talking, and I was talking about music gigs, and then I told him that I have a podcast where I interview comedians. He said, "Oh, I'm a stand-up comedian. I just did Governors," and he says, "I'm looking for something online." I said, "Well, have you heard about Plausible?" No. I said, "Well, a friend of mine is doing a show on this thing, Plausible, 2 Z's, not S. And his name is Jeep Fenderson.
Jeep Henderson.
Jeep Henderson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I said, on November 20th, go buy a ticket there. And he said, "No, I'll do that tonight. I'm going to go sign up right now. I want to see what that's like." And he wants to get involved with that. I said, for $5, you can get the one device. You can have 100 people watch it if you got a big screen TV or whatever. So he said he was going to sign up. I was just curious if you got you get a note.
Like I said, I don't get a notification. I can look at any time, but yeah, I don't get a notification. Somebody had said they'd signed up for Plausible, but I don't think they signed up as a fan of mine because my fan numbers hadn't changed, unless But
so there's a different. You can sign up as a fan, but not for the show. But
right.
They don't have to pay to sign up for as a fan.
Right. You can sign up to be a member of Plausible and just check things out, or you can sign up for Plausible and become a fan of somebody, so that whenever they're doing something, you'd be notified.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, if there's any way to let me know that he actually, I'm just curious, if or he's just talking. He's just trying to shut me up so he can get out the door with his.
That could be it also, because I talk to people all the time.
You talk to people all the time?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here? Talking to this bot? Yeah.
It's funny. My wife and I. I'm trying to think. Yesterday what's today? Today's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Don't you listen to the opening?
I should, because the Rev also says the date in the beginning too.
Right. But he says it 2025.
I don't know why he says it that way. I have no idea. Because he doesn't talk like that when we're talking, when we're having conversations. He doesn't talk like that.
I want to see. I want to be a fly on the wall while you and him are having conversations.
The thing is, I should do this. I should probably do this week. I wanted to interview him for Done Way Past Funny. He was the first person I wanted to interview for Done Way Past Funny, and it was the hardest one to get done. And so I think I'm going to have that. I think I'm going to see if I can interview him this week or next week for Done Way Past Funny.
Yeah. Yesterday we had some strange number. By the way, if you're on one of the, if you're anywhere but Instagram or Facebook, YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, we're not going to really see your comments here. There were a ton of people. Now, I don't trust Rumble's numbers. Let's be honest here. I mean, if they say we had, because yesterday they said we were having 18,000 live people watching the show yesterday. Okay. That could mean we had 18 people on Rumble. I mean, they lie, they inflate numbers like crazy. So I never know what's real there. But we don't see their comments. There were a shitload of comments in there. Not nice for Jackie. I mean,
wow.
Well,
don't tell him about those.
No, he knows they exist. These are Howard Stern trolls who were. Howard used to kind of put out you talk about psyops, a really bad impression of what Jackie was all about. It just painted him and Jackie put up with it for 16 years. Just let him put out false information about who and what the man was.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Peter Field does own. I don't know if he outright owns that program. It's very very fascist over there. But when I see Tim Pool's numbers, like I go there and he has 227,000 people watching live on Rumble. I'm like, no, that's not. Who the fuck is going to Rumble to watch at 8:00 at night? People are probably watching their home television. They could probably watch it Rumble on like a smart TV, but I don't think it registers in the numbers. When people are watching on smart TVs on YouTube here, we don't see it. Jackie is a very sweet guy. Becky is saying, I'm sorry. Jackie seems sweet. Howard seems terrible. I don't know about terrible. He's just, Howard's a broken guy like me, like a lot of us, broken. I always like Bubba the Love Sponge. I don't really know him more than Howard Stern. Let me see this question. Brendan Sterick again. Brandon. Why do I keep saying Brendan? Smacky.
Sirius. Okay,
right.
Just so you know, Matt, that's Sirius as an Sirius XM.
I
guess autocorrect.
Yeah. He said, do you think that at one point Howard Stern started getting handed talking points by executives as serious? And if so, do you think that affected his career? No. I don't think the let me just say the executive that's Sirius XM. No, I think this manager woman at some point, and I don't even know her name, some kind of PR person took over his career and tried to whitewash his career and kind of make him more of an adult. Yeah. It was right around the time that he got married to his second wife there, and I think she introduced him. But that woman, according to everybody who's associated with the show, that woman had such a hold, a grasp on Stern that he listened to every word she said, and she tried to clean up his career and really kind of changed him. I don't think it was serious management. I think
it wasn't serious. And if Howard didn't clean up his act, he would never have gotten that TV thing. What was it? Something with the Stars or?
No, I think it was on American Idol.
American Idol. Yeah, he wouldn't have gotten that if he was still the old shock jock. Yeah. So it was a conscious decision for him to clean up his act.
He lost a lot of his core following. The people that followed him from the 1980s through the time he started to clean up it, he lost a lot of those fucking people hate him. But I don't think Jackie's reputation amongst those people, I don't think Jackie's reputation ever got righted in any way until like recently when he started doing like this show, like not that a lot of people see, but shows like this where people see the real guy and not the image that Howard was putting out about him. Because I think it was unfair. First of all, Jackie's not cheap. This idea that he's some kind of cheapskate. Yeah, I think that was projection on Howard's part. Howard is a fucking cheapskate. Howard's got fucking $300 million sitting in the fucking bank, and he won't share it with any of his staff. Meanwhile, Jackie will give you the shirt off his back, literally.
He would. Matter of fact, when he was at the zoo, he gave the lady his shoe. When she asked him for it, I think he got it. He got it back because he was wearing it later.
Brandon says, "Yeah, it makes sense. Career management for opportunity, but at what cost?" I don't think she understood Howard's core audience. I mean, you couldn't get any bigger than Howard was at the time.
I think the cost, but I think I don't think he'd get more popular, but he could have made it more money.
Right, you could appeal to more adults, but they're not the they're not the ones. The kids are the ones with the disposable money. Like they can just burn their money.
Yeah, but TV money is regular money. That's big money, and it's regular money. It's as opposed to he could still. Whatever money he was getting from whatever money he's getting from Sirius, because this is what I do not understand. I do not understand that business model. Sirius, Netflix. I don't understand those business models because, for example, if I have Disney, I pay my subscription once a month. At least we did until we canceled it. Yes, we canceled Disney, but we were paying once a month. And if they added another show that cost them $4 billion to make or $300 million to make, I'm going to watch it, and they're not getting another dime from me.
Yeah,
and they're not going to get enough. They're not going to get another 400 million people to sign up to watch a show that they just spent hundreds of millions of dollars to make. Yeah. So I don't understand the business model, and you don't get to see them anywhere else. Like I love Daredevil, I don't get to see it anywhere but Disney.
Well, I hear what you're saying. Here's the thinking that went into signing Howard for big money on Sirius. They had no audience at the time they signed Howard, and they
Right.
thought bringing him on would attract more listeners, more people would get subscribers, and then they'd find these other shows, and they on those other shows they have sponsorships and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I don't know their business whether any of that paid off. But I knew when Spotify tried the same kind of strategy with Joe Rogan, they lost money big time. They gave Joe Rogan $120 million. And then at some point they said, well, we're going to let him go back on YouTube and we'll go take that advertising down. They were losing money on the Rogan idea. But that was the thinking with SiriusXM.
So how
And
does
they
that work with Netflix? Because Netflix doesn't have those commercials, you know? Netflix doesn't have those commercials. They can say, well, we'll draw, there'll be more commercial viewers on, unless
Yeah.
there's a, because I think there are some plans where you can have it and still have the commercials. Because I think Amazon does that. I think Amazon has a plan where you can watch the programs and it still have commercials, or you can pay a little extra and not have any of the commercials on some of the programs. I don't know, but
Netflix for people like me, it's like a gym membership. They charge you knowing you're never going to fucking use it. I never use Netflix. I can't tell you.
we use it all the time. My wife and I watch Netflix a lot.
I think I said this yesterday. I can't watch television. I can't do it. I will fall asleep. First of all, the living room furniture, I can't sit on it without falling asleep. It's just too comfortable. And then, but it's just sitting in a recliner or on a couch or whatever. I can't just sit there and watch something. In 5 minutes, I'm out. Even if it's like an action movie, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Now Anne was talking about she got a sign. She won a book. She won one of Jackie's books, and it was that he signed it for. She says one of her favorite things. Jackie gave me a book and he signed it for me, but he didn't write G.D. Fenderson. He wrote G.B. He wrote G.B.
Henderson?
Yeah, G.B.
GB?
He wrote G.B.
Good boy.
Yeah, good boy. Yeah. I didn't bust his ass about it because, like, first of all, I was going to buy the book. He gave me the book, because I'm one of those people that if you do something for a living, I'm not going to ask you to do it for free for me. I will, even if I can't pay you what you're used to getting, I will at least try to compensate you somehow.
Yeah.
Because that you do that's your job. That's part of what you do. But now Jackie, like I said, he's, gave me the book. Not like when. Like I did not want a comp ticket to see his show because that's how he makes his living. I would never ask him for a comp. There's a comedy club where I can go in anytime for free, but I don't. I pay because that money goes to the comedians.
Let me read this comment from Brandon Sterrett. With Disney, it's almost like a video game console market. They're selling you the console at a loss, hoping that they make money off the memorabilia, the accessories, and the trademarking. It's all the other items that they hope to sell off the franchise. It costs twice as much to produce the game console as they're selling it for.
You mean like now? I'm just saying. Do you mean like action figures and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's confusing. Who knows? Do they sell stuff on the? I don't.
I don't know if I've never seen them sell anything online, but it would make sense. Like if you watch, okay, if I understand this correctly, if I have kids and we watch, let's say Daredevil, and my kid goes, Dad, I got to have a Daredevil action figure. That only works if there's an action figure to go along with it. So Marvel, Disney figures, like all the princesses and princes and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. I can understand that t-shirts. Okay.
I am so clueless.
But they're still not making any money off of me because I won't wear any Disney stuff. I won't do it. And I won't buy their toys. Well, I don't have any kids anymore. But I used to have.
Are they selling this stuff like in the commercials in the movies? So I mean, this is where I'm kind of.
No, they own the rights. They own the merchandising rights.
Yeah. All right.
So like, cause like I don't. Once Disney, how should I put it? I had Disney because I liked some of the programming, but I would not wear anything of theirs in public. Any of the Marvel stuff, I stopped wearing it in public. Once once their president or their CEO put their money behind Trump, got in bed with Trump, I was like, fuck this. And I had tons. And my wife would tell you, if you look at my early stuff, I used to perform in Disney shirts. Not Disney, but Marvel. I had 3 Marvel shirts. I had a show shirt and I had 2 open mic shirts that I wore. And then I had 2 Marvel, so I had 5 Marvel shirts and 2 that I wore out in public like this. If I didn't have anything to wear, if I didn't know what to wear, I'd just grab the Marvel shirt. That was my default. And I said, fuck that. I will have my own shirts made, and that's what I'll wear. I'm not wearing Marvel. I'm not giving them money for that. Won't do it.
Do you think they care?
Yeah, I think they care. Matter of fact, I got a letter. Matter of fact, we got a letter once we canceled Disney, too.
They must have found out about you through, I don't know, some other guy who just does a podcast about you.
As a matter of fact, they said, GD, will you please start wearing our shirts to you when you perform again? I said, fuck no, fuck you. I won't do it.
Yeah. Now, coming back to the books just for 1 second there, Slaptail said Jackie signed his for Swan and then added his name afterwards. He signed mine for Swan, then he added my name after the fact. I asked why he didn't sign me also. He gave me the books the first time I went to his house years ago, and then every time I go to his house now, I mean, I've been to his house probably 30 or 40 times. Every time as I'm leaving, he's trying to hand me books. I said, Jack, I got a fucking shelf full of your books at home.
Now, a friend of mine gave me one of his books. Let me see. Yeah. I tried to get him on the show. And I think he just doesn't want to be seen in public with me.
I don't blame him for that.
But he signed the book. Glenn, there's a lot of big words in this. Hope you can read it.
Hope you can what? Read it?
Read it.
Oh.
Yeah. And he signed it, Keith.
Did you say friend? Is this a friend?
Yeah, friend.
Yeah.
He put me in his TV show. Two episodes.
Oh, what is this? This is local news. Man accused of selling cannabis gummies to middle school student, and the kid got sick from it. This is the thing. You can make cannabis gummies the wrong way. Yeah. Because I bought something I bought from Hoospatuk, one of the not Tipi Canna Cafe, but another place over there. I ate them, and I was like, it was like the worst, like barfing session I ever had, and it wasn't like a overdose of cannabis. I don't know, you can't overdose on it. It was just like a 50 milligram thing, but I didn't get high on it at all. All I wanted to do was barf all fucking night. That was not good. So I think, first of all, you shouldn't be selling them to kids anyway. I mean, kids should get their weed like I did in the woods across the street from the high school, or steal from the parents. Yeah, well, my parents didn't smoke it, unfortunately. When you do go,
I got my weed from my mother, not my father. My father was dead by the time I started smoking weed.
Wow. It's like the old commercial. Where'd you get this? From you. Remember that commercial? The guy with the...
Oh, yeah.
But well, I've got it from the woods, from the kids. That's where kids are supposed to get on the black market from your friends selling loose J's in the woods across the street from the high school. That's where you're supposed to get it if you're
I got mine from the family.
Not that I'm promoting young people getting stoned. I don't think that... Look what it did to me. Look how fucked up I am. You want to end up like me? No, you don't. I'm probably blabbing too much about this this opportunity for bookings that I've been telling people about. I probably good. Maybe it's a good thing that people don't watch that much, because I don't want to kill the opportunities out there. But I'm thinking of becoming a booking agent for this kind of market that I talked about, which I'm not going to mention it here specifically again. But because there are a lot of them, and the one agent that I talked to about it, he's like, well, there's only 3 of them. No, there's way more than 3. Just on Long Island, there's probably about 30 of them now, and it'd be a lot more. I mean, by the time we get to the next decade, the 2030s, I would say there'd probably be 100 on Long Island easily, just of these kind of facilities that have those opportunities. So I want to be the first to get in on that, and maybe I should learn to keep my mouth shut. I'm a blabbermouth. I don't know if you knew that about me, but there it is. Becky's always in the market for free books. I'll send you some. You know what? Write to Jackie at just send him an email. Do me a favor, really. I mean, it makes his day when he gets an email. Send an email to jokeland@aol.com and just say, hey, I hear you on Mind Dog Show every once in a while, and I really appreciate you. Just do that, and he'll send you books. He will send you books. Don't mention the books. Just say you see him on the show, and he'll get all happy, and they'll say, well, what's your address? I'll send you some books. He'll send you 2 books, signed.
Yeah.
And
he'll walk them to the post office.
He does. I've seen him do it. I've been.
He walks the block and a half or 2 blocks to the post office.
Yeah, his neighborhood is like that. It's very. I don't know. It's very Leave It to Beaver. His neighborhood is. Yeah. It's a beautiful, but where he lives, it's completely flat on the North Shore. Like you could see straight across. Here, it's like hill. He doesn't understand the difference between where he lives and where I live. We're both on the North Shore of Long Island, completely different situations here. It's like hill country. Snuffy Smith. You remember Snuffy Smith? If you remember Snuffy Smith, I'm gonna be surprised.
Cartoon.
You do. Yeah, cartoon. But now Snuffy Smith was like. It was like a
little Abner, but seems like a dirty, not dirty like in filthy, but dirty as in lower class. Little Abner.
Yeah,
seems like it.
Yeah, or Hatfield and McCoy's, right? It was like feuds and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we were overwhelmed with the amount of cartoons that we had as kids. We had too many choices in cartoon. The kids don't. I don't know if they have that these days. They don't care about that. They would rather be on the video games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those type of places too. They don't have a lot of those. You know, there was one of those magazines comes out with the most quaint little hamlets and small towns. What? What happened? You got stabbed?
I forgot. No. My nephew, his nickname was Tater, and if they got that from Snuffy Smith.
Wow.
My aunt Dodie, she used to love that cartoon, Snuffy Smith, and she gave my nephew the nickname Tater.
Wow. I was just looking at a watercolor of the OBI, Oak Beach Inn, which is a iconic venue here, not on Long Island, on Fire Island. It's across the bay there, but iconic place. And this watercolor, I thought it was a photograph, and you don't see watercolors that have that kind of photorealism to them very, very often. I got to get in touch with this artist and say, how the fuck did you do that?
Oh, I have a couple of watercolors that are like that. They were done in Florida, and they were of turtles and storks.
Wow.
And maybe or was it a crane?
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to remember now because that picture has been broken, and I never got the frame replaced because it was one of those frames that was all glass, but had like it was matted. The artwork itself was matted, but the glass and everything the frame itself was all glass. And we had guests. I won't mention my sister-in-law by name, but Linda knocked it off the wall and broke it.
So I'm changing the subject here.
Okay.
There's a guy. Should I name him?
Now, wait a minute. Before you do that, did you feel like it was necessary for you to tell me that you changed the subject so that I would be able to follow it along? Did you not think I would notice?
Not you. You think you're the only one listening?
Yeah.
There's at least 7 or 8 people listening. I think. The numbers in the cars are way down here compared to yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even want to look at yesterday. I was like, it's like comedy. It's like you get this great high, and you just don't, and you would like to write it, but you know the next one just isn't going to be as good.
Yeah. So where was that? Oh, there's
You're
this
changing the
guy
subject.
who his videos keep popping up on my Facebook feed. He's got a podcast. Great. He's an entrepreneur. He's looking for rags to riches stories, and we're looking for guests, people, movers and shakers, and in any industry. We love to talk to you on our podcast. We fly you out to Las Vegas. Blah 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 blah. And I've been seeing that for a while. The other day I got one. He goes, if you're a podcast host, we'd really like to work with you. We have a money-making opportunity for you. You're entrepreneurial, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Sign up here. I put my information in. Next thing I know, I'm getting this. Can you meet with us for a Zoom call? I agreed to that. And then he's got some, and then follows up with 1,000. Are you coming? Are you coming? Like the automated response.
It almost sounds like a hard sell for something. Like they're going to hard sell you on something, like a
Oh yeah,
timeshare
that's not even boy, not just in order to work with him and take advantage of this opportunity. Give me 25 grand up front.
Wow.
Up front. And he said, well, it's just a deposit until you make your first 100 grand, and then we'll give you that 25 grand back. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You're charging people to apply to work for you. I was like, first of all, I'm not looking for a job. You said this was an opportunity for podcast. I thought it was like some kind of partnership thing, whatever. Not that. And looking like people looking to make money don't necessarily just have 25 grand cash just to give you, and I'll take a risk on this fucking.
Right.
Should I name the guy? Should I out him? Or
sure. Now I have a question. Now this is not obviously this is not that, but did you get a email from our friend in LA, BK, about yeah?
No, I didn't.
About working with him, and you pay for his workshop once a month. And after if he feels comfortable with your progress, then he will introduce you to the people, his contacts in the business.
No, but I will say this about him. He owed me $20, and I had to chase him for 6 months to get it. Seriously, he owed me $20. And I had to kind of, it's not like I need the fucking money. It's not going to make or break me, but you owe me the money. I mean, you talk this big game like, how hard is it just to fucking PayPal me or Venmo me or something? Just send it here. I didn't even know I didn't even realize he owed me $20 until one of his people contacted me. Oh, by the way, we owe you $20. We'll be sending it to you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks go by, and I said, well, I never got it. Just FYI, I never got it. And so it's people like that, and they're trying to take advantage of people.
It's funny. It's funny because I'd reached out to him a while ago asking. I said, look, I have an opportunity to perform on a cruise ship. I need an agent. I said, they really liked me, but they want to deal with an agent, and I don't have an agent. And I said, I'm not asking you to recommend me. I'm just asking you to give me some names, and I will, do the rest myself. I just don't know who I can reach out to, because I've reached out to people, and I'm tired of like either not even the runner, but just having the wrong people. I'll reach out to even people like comedians that go like, well, I'm using so-and-so. Well, I'm not taking any more comedians. I said, so just give me a name or two. And he wouldn't do it. Matter of fact, he didn't even respond to the email. But I know he gets them because he'll respond to them. If I say the right things, he responds. If I say the wrong things, he doesn't respond.
Damn.
And so, but now he's saying, if you want access to these people, sign up for my courses. And once I feel like you've progressed, like, how's he going to know unless he comes out to see you, or unless you go out there to see he can see you, go out to LA.
Well, you know what? Somebody, I think it was John Laughlin, warned me about him in the beginning. He's just being predatory. That sounds predatory. His whole thing where he just gets people to sign up promising that he's going to change their career blueprint for comedy success or whatever it is, blueprint for entertainment success. And then a year and a half, 2 years go by, and they're still paying monthly dues to him or whatever. Just
It's
for
like
class.
therapy. It's like having a therapist.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, I got trying to keep up with Becky here. What is she saying? It's not. Wait. Send cooler air, please. Blah blah blah. Damn, it's not letting me minimize the screen. It usually does. I got some scams on Telegram yesterday. Told them Cash App was down. Cash App, I don't understand what that is. Which was true. They said they would wait to talk to me. I told them why I told them why they contacted me. Why so coy all of a sudden? These people hate it when you waste their time. I don't. I got called a bitch once for not buying that scam. What is Cash App? I see.
Oh, it's like Venmo.
But they say they'll just send you money for what? People don't just send people money.
For example, I sent my wife some money. They took the money out of my account, but my wife has not seen the money in her account yet. $700, a little over $700.
It's like PayPal or Venmo, but some people are just saying they're just making money off of Cash App. That's what I don't understand. Like, how do you fucking that?
The only way you make money off of Cash App is the only thing I can think is if you're selling something, or if you're one of the people that like Cash App charges like a fee or something, like a 2% fee for every transaction that they do for you or something.
Every time I see an ad for it, it's on Instagram, and it's these people are holding like wads of money. This is what I got on Cash App for just 15 minutes work. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't understand. Unless I don't know. Unless their job is to sell Cash App so people would download the app. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just sounds scammy to me.
It does. Everything sounds scammy. The whole world has gone scammy. This scammy is the one of the biggest industries to be in. If you're in the scam industry. What is she saying? What
they'll send me $20
and I'll get that right. That's what I thought it was. It's like, how does that work? I'm going to send you $20 and you're going to give me $500. Oh yeah, I'll go with that. I don't know if you know this about my $20, but it's not real anyway. I printed it myself. Yeah, I don't know. See, nobody questioned that. Nobody said, well, if it sounds too good to be true, it might be too good to be true.
And they did this is and the weirdest thing is this is still true today. This was true 30 years ago, and it's still true today. If a person spends $20 or less for something, they're not as likely to ask for a refund or return it if it doesn't work. But if it hits like $20.01, then it like the chances that they will want to return it or dispute it or something goes up like a 1,000-fold, like 10 times.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's
when I say 1,000-fold, I meant 1,000%. 10 times.
Wow.
Whatever it is. Is that 10 times?
Speaking of commerce, you could go now. Here's a thing. AdSense from Google. There's a SiteKit app that puts ads automatically on your website. It's way too. I know on minddogtv.com right now. It's way too fucking aggressive, and I'm trying to take some steps to make it less aggressive. Just put a few ads on the site right now, like every way. This ad all over the place. It's like the ad site. But so I'm going to try to address that. But if you go to Minddog TV right now in the merch store, there's all sorts of merch with the new design. I hate them for free to count just to trigger some of the people. Oh, they're all processors. 7 million people. If they all got $1 each, that would be $7 million, right? So extrapolate that out. How much do you think people are getting paid? How much do you think 7 million people got paid to protest? And no MAGA person was smart enough to say, yeah, let me go get the money and prove that they're all getting paid for this.
They did. Actually, that's funny. They should have done that. Yeah, they should have signed up and got paid to try to prove it.
And where do you go to sign up? You would think
Antifa, the Antifa website.
You know,
Antifa.org.
Well, let's because somebody did bring up Antifa.org to me, and I
Oh,
looked it up.
really? I thought I made that up.
No, you did not make that up.
Damn.
But because I was saying there's no such thing as Antifa, and the guy pointed to the website, and I said, well, let's go to ICANN and or who is and look up who owns this site. It's one dude in Canada. One dude in Canada bought the domain name. Like anybody can buy a domain name.
Right.
So just because Antifa.org exists doesn't mean
sometimes they buy just because they expect someone else to buy it from them.
exactly. They squatters. They squat on a domain and they're gonna sell it for a high price. But so if that's what you're looking at, you can show up to this guy's house. He also owns like thousands and thousands of other domains and subdomains and all that stuff. So
like that's the reason why I bought gdfenderson.com, because I thought now that
you thought Cheap Henderson was gonna show up.
Because my actual website is sogdfunny.com. I never planned on using gdfenderson.com. I just bought it because I thought this was, like I said, I never expected to be famous. I never expected to make it big, but I wasn't going to stop trying. And so I was going to be prepared if it happened. If I got a lucky break and it happened, somebody else was not going to own my name.
Yeah, I used to own my name in a domain thing, and I gave it up for a short period, and then this happened. Where is he here? Kid Matthew Napa.
Oh.
He doesn't seem to ever get beyond the college age. I mean, he's a software.
He looked like that. He looked like that 4 years ago. Whenever it was I joined the show.
Yeah. He doesn't change. Last change, May 3rd, 2024. He's a teaching assistant, computer organization, data structure, and all this stuff in Colorado. This kid is like, and Facebook sometimes, I don't know why Facebook sometimes mixes him up with me. People tag him and I get all of it. It's like, so it's good to, if you own your name, should never get off it. You should keep it forever, because if you
own your name and you have a business where it might make a difference, do not give up your
or even that, if somebody else has your name and they buy it like that, and now people go looking for me and they're finding that, like, wait a minute, that's not Matt Napo. Who are you? Are you lying? You're not really you. I feel bad for that kid, because if somebody Googles Matt Napo, they're going to get a lot of stuff that is not related.
I got something in my teeth, so I'm going to turn my head while I get this out.
What are you doing? You're pulling brain cells out?
Something in my tooth.
Oh, pulling brain cells out.
I'm trying to get it out.
Brain cells. Yeah. So I'm interested. I almost want to watch this Kyle Kalinske thing right now, the Civil War and comedy. But Andrew Schultz and Joe Rogan are not exactly opposites on they're both very, I don't know, Rogan wasn't always a far right guy, but now he's totally far right. I never did this thing on Hedberg. I'm never going to do this thing on the Hedberg thing. I gave up on that idea. Plus the reaction channel, I'm not going to do anything with. I should give up on that. I just suck at reaction videos.
Well, I have an idea for a comedy contest. It starts off with 16 people. It's an elimination process, but it's called Who Wants to See More? Okay. And the object is that each contestant has, let's say, a 16-minute set, but you don't get to hear the 16-minute set. What happens is the first 16 people, they do the first minute of that set. That's it, the first minute. And then people vote. Do you want to see more of that set or not? And then they eliminate 8 people. Then those 8 people go to the next round, and they do 2 minutes of. Now they do the first minute again, and add another minute to it. And then then people vote. Do you want to hear more? Do you find out do you want to know where this set is going? And then they eliminate 4, and now there's 4 left. And now those 4 people are doing 4 minutes each. The same set. You start from the beginning again. So they're hearing the first minute, the second minute, and then 2 additional minutes. and then the people vote. Do they want to hear more of that set or not? You eliminate
So
half of them.
basically, it's like almost like Last Comic Standing is the winner, right? The last comic.
Oh yeah, but I don't know their format. I've never watched it.
Oh.
That's why I ran it. That's why I sent it. That's what I ran it by Leanne last night to see if somebody was doing something like that, because I don't know anything like that.
Oh, Leanne Linsky, you're talking about. Oh, you run things by her, do you?
Yeah, I reached out to Leanne last night. Yesterday, and she got back to me last night.
Wow.
About the idea. And then there's 2 people left, and they're doing 8 minutes each, because each time it's doubled. You know, it goes from 1 minute to 2 minutes to 4 minutes. Now it's 8 minutes, and those 2 people do the first 8 minutes. So you hear the first minute, the second minute again, the fourth up to that, but now the 8th minute, and then whoever wins does their 16-minute set. You know, so on the show.
You know, that's not a bad premise there. You got. I'm just trying to. I'm doing several things. I'm multitasking. Ozone Park, eh? Okay, maybe I'll do that one. What's the date? Somebody's trying to book me for an event in Ozone Park, 11/20. All right, sure. Well, I'll just say yes to it, and then I'll feel terrible. This is my problem. I said this yesterday. I say yes to anything that comes my way, and then I hate it. I shouldn't have said yes to that. Sure, I'll do it. I'm available. Sure. You got make my price. That's fine. I'll do it. And then like a week before, I'm like, why did I ever say fucking yes to this? I hate this gig. I don't want to do this gig. That's the story of my life. So that's not a bad premise there. That I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't know how Last Comic Standing actually works.
I don't know either. I've never watched it. I mean, but of course, every contest is the last something standing. That's how you have a winner. So, yeah, and that's the premise. And like I said, I think the title. I think the title that I sent Leanne was, "Do you want to hear more?" I think that's the name of the contest.
Seymour. Do you want to see more? You said Seymour, like Seymour Heine.
Okay, I could say, "Do you want to see more?" Or "Do you want more?"
Seymour. Yeah, but you say every contest is the last something standing, right?
Pretty much.
Not really true. And this is not my. Maybe we should call Ron on this. Maybe this would be his area of expertise. But there was a porn thing in like the 90s or something. Like this chick who did 1,000 dudes, right?
But that's not competitive. It's not like there's 2 women next to each other, and then as each woman gets tired.
Oh no, but it was competitive for the guys, though. I think. I don't know.
That's not a competition. That's just horny guys standing in line trying to be part of history or her story. They just want to be part of her story. They want to be, it's like all of a sudden she goes like, that was some night when I had the 1,000 guys inside of me, but number 79, I'll never forget number 79. He was something special.
That's
his name, but number 79, he really brought something for those 30 seconds that he was inside of me.
And
I'm gonna give an honorable mention to number 112. but after 250, I was kind of numb.
So if you just look at kind of numb,
I don't remember anybody after 250. I was totally numb.
250. I would think 10 or even 5 or whatever. I mean, that's
like 30 seconds each. It's not like they're in there pounding for an hour or so.
I don't know. I wouldn't know that.
It's just enough that they can say it would be like the equivalent. Like, well, how long does it take to lose your virginity? 30 seconds. Okay, that's how every guy gets 30 seconds.
So here's the things that come to my mind and concerns, and they probably dealt with this in some way that I don't know. But you got to test all 500,000 guys, whatever, for STDs, right?
Well, make them wear a condom, or she has a dental dam, or she squirts out for everybody. I don't know.
Wear condoms in porn? I don't know, because this was a porn.
Well, yeah, you wear condoms in porn. No, well, you don't have to, but they're all tested.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so they test 1,000 guys for all that, but then, I mean, what happens? She ends up pregnant. Like,
well, now here's the thing. Now, like for example, if I were a cheap if I didn't have good health insurance and I wanted to know whether or not I had any diseases, I would sign up for that, get tested, and just not show up to fuck the woman. As long as I got the test back, I just said, oh, great. I don't have anything. Wonderful. Thank you. Oh no, I'm not, I'm backing out of the contest. I'm not going to no. But thank you. I just need to make sure. Now, there was a comedian who did this one joke. It was like he was saying he wanted to find out if he had syphilis, but he didn't want to go to the doctor. So he called a woman that he was having sex with. He goes, "Hey, do you know anybody with syphilis?" And she goes, "No." He goes, "Okay, I'm good. I'm in the clear then." I don't remember the comedian that told that joke, and he tells it better because he told it as a joke. And I'm just telling it as a recap.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to look like I don't want to look like I'm stealing somebody's joke.
Syphilis.
Yeah.
I thought that was like.
That's how old the joke was. It may have been an STD. I don't know.
Yeah, syphilis doesn't even still exist, does it? I thought
it may have been AIDS then. It could have been AIDS. Do you know anybody with AIDS? Yeah, that's probably it.
The AIDS doesn't even really exist anymore, does it? I think
AIDS?
yeah.
I don't think they call it AIDS until it's full blown. Right now,
and it doesn't ever get there, right? That's what I'm on. And maybe I'm wrong about. I don't want to spread misinformation, but I was under the impression that once you get HIV, there's like now drugs that you can take to get rid of the HIV, and that never get it.
Well, it doesn't get rid of it. It makes it so that it's not transmittable.
Syphilis is out there, 100%.
Yeah, we know syphilis is out there. All you gotta do is go to a retirement home in Florida.
John Beedman is saying, I'm 100% wrong. Syphilis is out there big time. Big time.
Yeah, especially in retirement homes, because the women can't get pregnant and the guys got Viagra.
Now, where do they get Viagra?
Are you kidding?
So don't you have to have that prescribed Viagra?
Well, this is what I don't understand, okay? Because as a general rule of thumb, it has to be prescribed. But if you're getting like a knockoff brand, that is, for some, you're breaking, let's say and I don't even know where they get it, but they know how to make they put the active ingredients together with THC or something, and then they sell it on the black market, I guess. I don't know how all these sites work, but I know there's more places popping up like Rougier, Rugiet, and then there's Ro.com. Or .ro or something.
Don't be giving out their URLs and sponsoring them. They're not sponsored. I feel like you should compile all these questions, and I will come on and answer them. When are you going to do that?
No, Thursday? Why do we need to compile them? Why can't we just? Did you come on and we just throw the questions at you?
Off the top of my dick, I'm on top of my head, whatever. Just what the fuck? Stop calling me.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't expect you to pick up.
When are you coming on, John? Are you coming on Thursday? Because we don't have a guest on Thursday. So come on Thursday. And I won't have any questions for you. I'll just say, hey, tell me about some more chimpanzee stuff.
And John, if you had a heart-shaped ass like your wife, maybe he would have signed
the question I asked is, who the fuck is giving these old coots Viagra? They're all, they're fucked up enough. I'll be in a nursing home today. They're fucked up enough. That they're all just crazy fucking old coots. They're fucking hitting on all the nurses. They're showing it, and they're not. I don't know if I haven't checked their meds, but who's giving these fucking horny old dudes Viagra? That's irresponsible. That's totally.
Maybe it's some of the women doing it.
Yeah. Kid, now women. There's no reason to prescribe something like that. This was a question for John.
See, Viagra did not start off as for erectile dysfunction. It started off for heart, like it's a blood thinner. It was like for some kind of heart condition. It acted as a blood thinner, and slap can slap me if I'm wrong. And then they found additional uses for it, and the more popular use was erectile dysfunction. But it basically was a blood thinner, if I remember correctly, that they're using to treat some heart conditions. And then they tweak the form, and then it also extends the patent, because with a drug, if you can find an additional use other than what you had the original patent for, it extends your patent and it doesn't go generic as quickly. It extends so you can keep.
How about Dick Van Patten?
Eight's enough.
8 is enough.
That's what I said. 8's enough.
Yeah, 8 is enough. 8 is enough. Not 8's enough. 8 is enough. Viagra. Brandon Stark says Viagra is too expensive. I always buy the generic. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he's saying there.
My cocks are flopping.
Oh, my cocks are flopping. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Let's go back to politics for a second here, because this is something nobody cares about and nobody really should care about. New York City mayoral race. Now, we got Andrew Cuomo, and people are pushing for Cuomo because they hate Madami or whatever. And it's just like, remind me again why Andrew Cuomo had to resign the governorship. That he's running for mayor. There was sexual abuse stuff and mismanagement of the pandemic stuff and a whole bunch of stuff that he had to resign the governorship over. And now his experience is his selling point. His experience, though, led to him resigning in shame. How is that? And so you have him against Madami, and then you have Curtis Sliwa, who is doing nothing. And the Republicans are trying to get Curtis Sliwa to resign so that Andrew Cuomo gets elected over Madami, the communist, terrorist, Hamas supporter, whatever they are labeling him as. But New York City, it's just the mayor race. Like, can't they find one decent guy or woman to run? Like, it's between three. It's usually like the presidential race now. It's always like between two of worst of two evils. Now, I'm sure that the Trump people will say, "No, he's chosen by God." Yeah. But it's a worst of three evils. Like, they can't in New York City, a city of 11 million people or whatever the fuck it is. You can't find anybody worthy of actually running for mayor or being a mayor in that city.
Here's the problem is somebody who is probably decent enough that probably could actually be a good mayor is probably too decent to think that they'd be a good mayor.
Yeah, I want to just address. I will come back to that in 1 second. I just want to address this. One of the top science broadcasts in the world, right here. Not here. No. The reason, and I appreciate the sarcasm there, but the reason is some of the guests, the science-oriented guests that have been on the program. Certainly not me or GD. We don't.
Hey! I think I do very well for the sciencey part.
You don't know. No, you don't belong in the science category. You belong in the. Never mind. Science is fine. Hello, Becky back. Yes, I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to talking about Vietnam and ABC embedded with the Native Americans during the Vietnam War stuff yesterday. I mean, it's Academy. I think they were nominated for Academy Award in documentaries or something like that. Apache Homecoming, right? Apache Welcome Home. Apache Blues Welcome Home. That's what it's called. Anyway, so that's the program on Thursday. We have nobody but maybe Slaptail Nation, John Beaver.
I don't think the Apaches called themselves Apache, though. I think it's one of the things where I think other tribes called them Apache, and I don't know how or when it stuck. It's like Chinese. It's like
I don't think that's true. Well, I don't know for a fact that it's not true, but I know I've been to the reservation out.
I should say when they, I don't think they started off calling themselves Apache. I don't think that was what they called themselves.
Yeah, none of them did really, because they didn't speak English until the white people came over and said you have to learn English.
I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. And if there's somebody out there who knows for certain, please correct me. Because like they said in the beginning of the show, please fact check us. But I was under the impression that the Apaches had a different name, but Apaches was what other tribes called them because it meant enemy.
Oh, they weren't the most brutal. The Apache, I know Apaches have a reputation for being the most brutal. Comanches Comanches were the most brutal. They were at war almost the entire entire. They were
Well, maybe
at
it's
war.
Comanche that I'm thinking of. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so, because they were really brutal. I mean, if you talk about the they were attacking everybody. They were attacking each other. They were attacking rival tribes. They were attacking the white people. They were just like war hungry. They would just love to fight. Comanches.
Okay, it says it means violent troublemaker.
What, Apache?
Yeah,
Violent troublemaker.
and apparently it's a French word.
That's interesting that internet technology. It's Apache servers. They're violent. What was the violent troublemaker?
Yeah.
The internet Apache servers are violent and troublemaking servers. I don't think Apache tribe was originally called the Dine, which means enemy of the people, later given an Apache name by those tribes and people. Wow, we have
So I was pretty close, huh?
Native American historian there. The Dine, dine doesn't sound bad. I'm ready to dine. Where's the dining room? Right?
Yeah.
The dine.
So I remembered it pretty close to right, huh?
Maybe. I don't know. Is he fact checking that, or is fact checking it? Yeah. Thank you. Have a wonderful. You have a great day, Sunshine. Thanks for being here. You're always.
Yes, thank you.
You always brighten up the day, Sunshine.
Yes.
You brighten up my day.
And tell everybody in the other room where you're going, we said hi.
How do you know she's going to another room?
Because her and Ann both leave, and if you go over there, you'll find them in the chat room. If you go over to Tony Walker, they'll be in the chat room.
Oh, okay. Tony Walker's a chick magnet, eh?
Well, at least part of him is.
Yeah. All right then. So I have to go get ready for a VA thing today. Now, it is what it is. But today, it's for it's in the atrium, and there'll probably be like, I'm not exaggerating here when I say 22 to 2,500 people putting on a show for 22 to 2,500 people on a big stage, which is generally, it's a kind of a challenge because I'm tempted. Most of the guys who do these shows that I do, they bring backing tracks and all this. And the guy last night, he's talking about, he's got a multi-track recorder that he takes with him that has like multi-track stuff on it, sequences and all this stuff, all synced up. I'm like, to me, that I would be so fucking nervous about the technology screwing up or being, just being out of sync in the wrong place and all this stuff. Like, you never.
Yeah.
I just prefer to just do it in acoustic. But for 2,500 people, you better be bringing a lot of energy with just an acoustic guitar. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today.
Now, I did an acoustic show for 1,500 people. And I think that's the largest crowd I've ever performed for. Is 1,500.
You never play acoustic. You didn't like.
No. I started off when I did my solo. When I started off solo, I started off with acoustic. I didn't start doing my electric guitar on shows until I did one, and my acoustic guitar got out of tune. And my electric guitar does not. This thing, you can do almost anything you want to it except for set it next to a heater, and it doesn't go out of tune. That's the only time my electric guitar has gone out of tune, is I set it next to a heater and I didn't realize it. And when I picked it up, it was like, whoa.
I'm surprised the neck wouldn't warp. I mean, that's generally what will happen.
Yeah, it was only for like 10 minutes. I tuned it and I set it down and waiting for my turn to perform, and I picked it up and it was warm, and I'm like, oh.
Wow.
And that's when I had to tune the guitar while I was talking to the audience. Well, actually, I didn't even. I started playing. I talked, and I started playing, and then I realized this is not right, and then I stopped. That's okay. I'm going to tune my guitar, and I'm going to start the song again. But while I'm tune the guitar, and I talked to the audience while I tuned the guitar, and then I went back and I said, now I'm going to start the song again, and you're going to hear the first verse again, and I need you to laugh just like you heard it, like you never heard it before. And they did. They actually laughed at this. It's just like they never heard it.
All right, I want to just mention Little Buster from Little Buster and the Soul Brothers. I'm mentioning him before we move on to the next topic, and then we'll call it a day here. Little Buster, blind guy. I saw him break a string a couple of times. Saw him break a string in the middle of a set. Now he's totally blind, completely blind, not like Blind Mike, legally blind, totally blind. He reached into his guitar case and like feels for the right string, like he does the right gauge by feel. Then while he's still singing the song, taking that out, taking the old string off, restringing the guitar, tuning it up, like and just like talking or singing the entire time while just doing. I can't. I have eyes that.
I'm willing to bet you actually can do that. You have just told yourself you can't do it. The only reason why I'm saying that is because I have done things that I didn't think I could do, and out of just sheer necessity, I did them.
I don't know about that one though. I hear what you're saying, like limiting beliefs, but to be able to keep my place in the song while still finding the right string, take the old string off again with eyes. I know I struggle just to get the old string. Sometimes the fucking nut and the little ball thing on the end of the string gets stuck, and I'm like, get me a screwdriver now. I don't know. It takes me a half hour to change one string, and just to be standing up there and
we don't know how many times you've had to do that. Remember, so I think you probably. I was going to say because, like I said, it's not the exact same thing as stringing the guitar, but I was in my bucket band, and I was about 25 feet in the air. My bucket was extended, and it was turned around like a good 45 to 50 degrees. I wasn't like straight up and down. I was like turned her over, and the battery exploded and acid just flew all over the place. It was eating up my clothing. It was spilling down my mask, and it was like on my face. But now it was not, I have to say it was like 101 degrees outside. So my face was covered with sweat and salt. I was just pouring down. And so acid got on my face. Some of it got in my mouth. And I had to keep my eyes closed. And with my eyes closed, I turned my bucket around and lowered it, my boom, and lowered it right in the cradle. Got out and felt around the side of the van and got the baking powder out and put it on my face, washed out my mouth, poured it on my body, poured it on my truck, and did all that, without seeing. And I never operated my truck blindfolded before or without seeing. No, I never practiced it. But I've done it so many times. I've been, like, I don't know how many years I've been doing that job, but I've been using a bucket van for like probably 20 something years. And it's just then, it's like, as soon as it happened, I thought to myself, don't panic. You have time. The asset, you have time. And so I just didn't panic, and I did it calmly. And I was on the side of the road with cones, so there's traffic going by me too. So I'm getting out of the van and walking around, traffic on the other side of my cones, feeling around, doing all that. So I know if you do something long enough with your sight, if you don't panic, you can do it without your sight.
All right, that's fair enough. But there are some things I can't do with my sight. Do it enough times, and I've done it hundreds and hundreds. Listen, I could probably have been changing strings on guitars for 60 years, really, or almost 59 years. I think I started when I was 7. Still and there are some guitars, depending on the mechanisms on the guitars, the bridge and all that stuff, where it's just a pain in the ass, especially like nylon string guitars. Forget about it. I was like, I don't even want to get involved with that. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna bring it to the luthier and tell him to set it up for me. Oh, it needs a setup. It doesn't need a setup. Set up fine. It needs a setup. Just fucking put new strings on it. Because I won't do that. So yeah, I appreciate you're definitely right that if you do something well with your eyes long enough, you challenge yourself, you probably can do it with your eyes closed.
You don't panic. Just don't say, oh shit, it's going to a hell in a handbasket. I'll never get this right.
Yeah,
Guess
panic.
what? You
Panic
won't.
doesn't help anything.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
because I when do comedy, that I would do if I'm doing a show, and if I say shit, I will never get this right. Guess what? I don't get it right. But I don't fuck up completely, but I just like I don't remember this routine at all. I mean, I have had that. I have had those nights where I'm like, I don't remember this fucking routine. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And my wife will say, "Are you all right?" I said, "No, I don't know what I'm supposed to. I don't know my routine." She says, "You'll be fine." Says, "How can I be fine? I don't know what I'm supposed to say."
Whoa.
I mean, I've had 2 shows like that where I just told everything went blank. My introduction, everything went blank. She goes, "Well, you're going up in like 30 seconds. You better do something." And that's the other thing, because when I headline, I like to sit in the audience. I like to hear the other comedians.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah.
We've talked several times about Anamana. Right. Shit, I just had the other one. There's another one in there. I just had it in my head too. This theme of it's one of these songs but I didn't know where it was from. Not that one. Now I got that one in my head, and I can't get that one out of my head.
Well, what triggered it? Oh yeah. I guess like a.
Where's that from? Yeah, where's that from? That was stuck in my head 2 days ago, and I'm like, but where the fuck is it from? Right? Yeah, you got the song right, but where's it from?
Siri, where's the song from? Okay, I don't have Siri. I was hoping that your Siri.
We're gonna get a copyright strike for that now. You did a Dada song.
We'll find out where it's from.
Yeah, we'll find out. Suing us. Put the lime in the coconut. No, it's not.
Song. God damn it.
It's not the lime in the coconut song. But people used to do that during magic tricks and all, or those things that go on forever and ever. But I don't know where it was from. I heard Yakety Yak the other day, and it seems like I've been playing it wrong. It's all double, not doubles, but it's 16th note that. Yeah. Yakety sax, yakety yak.
Yakety sax, yeah.
Yeah. But so I've been playing it on guitar. I know the melody, but it seems like there's double notes instead of single notes that I play. And I was like, wow, this is how it goes. I always sing it one note. Yeah, right. Change the subject one last time before we get off the air.
You ever play Flight of the Bumblebee?
I tried to play it on the tuba once, but I blew my spleen out.
I saw Jose Feliciano. Is that his name, Jose Feliciano?
Yeah.
I saw him do it on Johnny Carson. And when I saw that, first of all, I used to love that song. And I'd never seen anybody do it on a classical guitar before. And I watched him do it, and I was like, I have to learn to play guitar so I can learn to play that. And that was one of the first things I wanted to learn to play once I started taking guitar lessons. I said, I want to learn to play flamenco. And I said, I want to learn to play Flight of the Bumblebee. And I did. I learned to play Flight of the Bumblebee. That was like, and then once I learned it, I was like, oh, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Speaking of bumblebees, we got a lot of them. They're all over the fuck. My wife, my wife.
Speaking of bumblebees, Queen Bee, my wife.
My wife has got this thing with animals. The other day, she saw
Cinderella. I think it's called the Cinderella complex.
Yeah, something. She brought in a bumblebee. She was petting it. A bumblebee. He's hungry. I got to give him some sugar water. And she's petting it. She's got a bumblebee in her hand. She's petting it like it's a fucking, I don't know, hamster.
Like it's a bumblebee.
Like it's a bumble. And she puts it on the counter and pours some water for it. And the thing goes over and it drinks the water and he's like getting rehabilitated. And then he wants to fly away. She grabs him and puts it back in her hand. Like no stinging, no, like, wow.
Well, I don't think bumblebees do sting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think bumblebees
I think they sting. They would sting me.
They will grow a stinger just for you.
Yeah, I've been stung by every kind of fucking critter with a stinger at all. But she's got some kind of yeah, she's a woodland princess. That's exactly what she is. Thank you, Becky. Yeah, so this is her latest. And now, but now my yard is inundated. Now all the bees are, I guess they went home and told the other bee, it's a good place to go. She'll take care of you. She'll give you the sugar water. And now they're
Okay,
all,
it says bumblebees can sting, but it's rare and non-fatal.
yeah,
Only
not fatal.
female bumblebees have stingers, and they can safely withdraw them. Learn how to prevent and treat bumblebee stings. Oh, wow.
Non-fatal unless you have an allergy to it and you don't have an EpiPen and you try to drive yourself to the hospital and the cop has to find you crashed into a tree on the side of the road and give
Well,
you
since
the
they're rarely deadly, unless you lethal anaphylactic reactions.
yeah, and the cop. I just said it, and you try
Yeah.
to drive yourself to the hospital. You crash into a tree. You find you're unconscious, and the cop finds you there, and he shoots you up with an EpiPen, which happened to me.
Or if you're black, he shoots you up with a gun because he thought it was his taser.
All right. Last subject of the day. By the way, if you're listening and you want to go to betanything.eu, betonanything.eu, and use the promo code MindDog, what GD is going to say when I say, you know, Avi Loeb, right? You know who Avi Loeb
Oh
is?
yeah, he's second baseman for the New York Mets.
You didn't give them time to bet. They were going to.
Oh,
they were
sorry.
all going to bet on it.
You do. Sorry, I don't want to get a copyright strike.
So Avi Loeb, professor, scientist, and this is why we're a top science podcast, by the way, at Harvard University, says if you have vacation time, take it now. If you have money in the bank, spend it now, because October 29th, Atlas 31 is going to show up here. You know, Atlas 31. It's
oh yeah, that's the software that's actually predicting the Bitcoin bubble. Yeah.
No, that's this thing that's coming from another galaxy, this gigantic mothership that is.
Oh, I thought it was a software app. I thought they named the software app after it.
Well, probably. They probably, you know, everything's named after something, right? I'm named after something. What am I named after? Anyway, so he's saying this thing that this, I don't know. Look, it doesn't look like a spaceship to me. It just looks like a big fucking rock.
Yeah.
But it's according to him, and I don't know, is he making money off of this somehow? How do you make money off of alien invasion? He's saying, and
short the market. Short the market. That's how you do it.
I don't know if it's necessary good advice to follow to say, just go out there and spend all your money, use all your vacation time, max out your credit cards, and then the rapture doesn't happen, or the thing doesn't. Atlas 31 doesn't.
So are you telling us that we have how many days to make Atlas 31 shirts?
October 29th. So that's like what, 8 days?
Atlas 31 destroyed the Earth, and all I got is this lousy T-shirt.
I should probably do that today, but I suck at these T-shirt things.
Well, you don't have time today. You got a thing to do.
Yeah, but you know, yeah. Let's see here. I want to get what Avi Loeb is saying. Yeah, this is Avi.
Oh, that is serious.
Can you hear him?
No, I don't even see him.
Oh, hold on. Why am we not showing him here? Oh, is this him?
2025. I got a text message the other day from someone who said that he is trading options on the volatility of the market with an expiration date of October 29th.
Turn it up.
In order to make money.
That's as loud as that goes.
Thought that,
it's a low clip.
There will be meaning to money if this object turns out to be technological after October 29th. If you want to take a vacation, take it before that date, because who knows what will happen. Now it will pass closest to the sun on October 29th, 2025. I got a text message the other day from someone who said that he is trading options on the volatility of the market with an expiration date of October 29th in order to make money. And I immediately thought that I don't know if there will be meaning to money if this object turns.
October 29th? I think you'd just like to say October 29th.
Yeah.
Who knows? So you should spend all your money, take all your vacation time, max out your credit cards before October 29th, because who knows? You could say the same thing about October 22nd at this point.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was going to say that about October 31st.
Yeah, well, that's Halloween. My wife's birthday is October 30th, so and I haven't gotten a gift yet. So
Yeah.
I should not buy her a gift because we're
No,
not
I
going to make.
think you should buy her a gift, but make it something that she can return. No, no,
No,
don't rent a gift just in case you don't need it.
no, there are a lot of people like Becky who doesn't trust this guy. What sounds like he has a Swiss bank. Well, what he's not asking people to send him money. This is where how is he? There are a
Well,
lot
this
of
is
people who don't
okay.
trust this guy, and how is he profiting off of it? He's not.
Okay, this is something I recently learned in April. I think it was April of 1864. Um, there was this guy who wanted to make money off of gold. So what he did was he bought a bunch of gold and then he sent around fake reports. He got AP letterhead. Got AP letterhead and sent these notices out to the other newspapers. They were thinking it was from the AP, and it was the fake news thing said that Lincoln was going to be requesting 400,000 more troops for the Civil War, to fight the Civil War. Now, at that point, people were thinking that the Civil War was almost over, and it wasn't, but nobody knew. But everybody's thinking it was almost over. So when they mentioned that Lincoln was going to be getting 400,000 more troops for the Civil War, the markets crashed, and so when the markets crashed, I think he bought. How did that go? When the markets crashed, the value of gold went up. So he had bought the gold. So when the markets crashed, people started buying gold. And so when the value of gold went up, he sold his gold.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Lincoln goes, wait a minute, this is fake news and shit. And whoever put this out there is guilty of treason.
That's fine. What you're saying makes sense for that. But this guy hasn't told people to buy anything, or he's
He didn't.
basically just.
That's just it. The guy didn't tell anybody to do anything. He just had it out there that Lincoln was getting 400,000 more troops. The market did the rest. Everybody else just panicked, and the market crashed. And as a result, the price of gold went up, and then he sold his gold. He didn't say to anybody buy gold. He didn't say anybody sell your stocks. He just put the story out there that this bad thing is happening, and then people did the rest. They just panicked.
All right. He again, esteemed Harvard professor who has really damaged his reputation among other academics, because he's been saying this for about a year when this rock was first discovered. But it is going to be as close to Earth as it's going to get on October 29th. But here's now CERN, which is not affiliated with him, and all the academics have been like saying, "Don't pay attention to Avi." There's no indication that this thing is really extraterrestrial. Well, it is extraterrestrial, but it's not necessarily in extraterrestrial intelligence. It's just an extraterrestrial rock, is what a lot of scientists are saying. But now scientists at CERN have confirmed contact with 31 Atlas, which in order to, you can't be just a rock. Hello, rock. Oh, I made contact. It's not they didn't make contact with a rock. They not a satellite signal or a data glitch, but an active response from an object drifting. Now, what does that mean? What is the active response?
Well, because every object has a resonant signal, not resident, resonate. And so if you point one of our receivers at almost any object, if you find the right frequency, you will hear it. You will hear its frequency. And so that may be what they're talking about, obviously. To me, that's what they're talking about, obviously.
Yeah. In an unprecedented event that could redefine humanity's place in the cosmos, scientists are turned deep beneath the Swiss Alps. Skip ad. Get that ad out of my face. Damn it. Get your damn ad. Oh.
Get the ad out of my face. Get that ad out of my face. Get the ad out of my face. Get that ad out of my face.
Yeah. Oh, now I lost it. Once you click on the ad, Cosmic Meltdown, 32 and out, just broke the laws of physics. Elon Musk warns this is beyond anything humanity can control. I don't know. That all sounds like more clickbait to me.
It sounds like clickbaiting. To be honest, I think that guy. I don't think that guy is making money per se. But if he's getting more clicks and then more advertising, money that way, maybe.
Well, and
it would be like you trying to start a feud between me and some guy who's legally blind.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm just saying, no. I'm just saying, but it would be like if you were to try to start a feud in hopes that it would get more clicks, and then that would get more views, that would create more dollars.
I hate clickbait people. It's just
I don't blame you. I hate them as well, and I hate the clickbait people who watch the clickbait too. I don't hate them as much. But if they didn't watch it, they would stop doing the clickbait.
According to this, and who the fuck knows who the NDT people are, NCC News, NCC.
Oh yeah.
It's watching. It is watching us.
No.
Yeah. If it's watching me, it's not going to.
You could do Coffee with the Dog News and put something out like that.
If it's watching us, welcome to the program. That's all I'm saying. I mean, because
CWD, Coffee with the Dog, CWD News says, or CWTD News says that the asteroid, whatever it is, Atlas 31, whatever the fuck is being called, has been making contact with the Coffee with the Dog show, and it wants to be a guest on Thursday.
Well, go to minddogtv.com/booking and get yourself on the show.
As a matter of fact, I think that is Thursday's guest. That asteroid is the guest on Thursday.
Wait, let me see. What is that's next Wednesday, the 29th? Is that? Do I have that right?
So you better get it on the show before then.
Wait, today's Tuesday, 7 days.
Yeah, the 29th is Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. Becky is saying Ivy League school affiliated people tend to have inside info a lot of the time. So who knows what this guy's angle is? I don't know. Harvard is already in enough fucking hot water. You think Harvard would tell them to shut the fuck up, right? They got enough troubles with funding and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but they're also getting in trouble for telling professors what to think, so to speak. So it's like, no, we need you to be more tolerant and accept more open views. Which means so the Trump people the Trump administration, they're trying to get too controlling.
Yeah, I would definitely. I'm not one of these people who want the aliens to come. I think there people who think, I want to believe and I want aliens to show up here. I'm kind of like of this Carl Sagan school, and they probably are not going to be friendly. If they come, if they do exist and are coming here, they're probably not coming for tea. They're probably coming to harvest us. Soylent Green is people.
Either that or they're lost. They're like, sorry, we made a wrong turn we made a right turn at Alpha Centauri, and we wound up here. Can you get us back on the way? What kind of fuel do you need? Well, our ship uses hemoglobin. We need about 4 billion gallons of hemoglobin, but we'll dehydrate it. Yeah, dehydrated hemoglobin. Right.
What is Becky saying? I think if there was aliens, they wouldn't concern themselves with our supposed betters. Betters like
I think she means bitters, like liquor.
Bet anything that EU, I think it's what are better.
Y'all gamblers. You're right. They wouldn't want to be hanging with our gamblers because they're losers anyway.
But I have seen. Again, I'm not one of these people who are. I want there to be aliens. I have seen lots and lots of UFOs recently here, and I talked about them on September 22nd of this year, and September 21st, the night before. I said I was out on my front lawn, getting high, which I do a lot, and I saw this UFO that blew my mind. It was coming down without a sound. It split into two, and then it seemed to be moving like incredibly fast. I talked about it the next morning on the show, and then 2 days ago there was a report that it was reported by thousands and thousands of people in Long Island, New York, on the North Shore of Long Island, New York, and Rhode Island saw this thing, and it apparently went into the sound and kind of went down for a while. I didn't see this. I just saw it on the way down. Apparently went down into the water for about 5 minutes and then took off and like at supersonic speed and disappeared into the heights of the sky. But
Now,
there
if
were
it hit
pictures.
supersonic speed, did you hear sonic boom?
I think I did. And the thing was, yeah, I did hear a crowd, but I didn't associate it with a sonic boom. It sounded like an explosion of some type. I talked about it the next day, so it sounded like a, but it could have been a sonic boom. But it when it went over, there was no sound from the fucking thing at all. It was quiet as can be. And then when I lost sight of it, that's when I heard, and I thought it crashed. But what would it crash into? I thought maybe Rhode Island, but apparently it crashed into the ocean. And people got videos of it, and people got pictures of it, and all that stuff. It's just so it's not just me seeing things, and I don't want to. I'm not one of these guys who wants to see things.
Now, I just want to bring this up because you just triggered something. My wife is upset with me because I took a recommendation from somebody, and I don't remember who I took it from, but it was on the show. It was on this show, and somebody said that the movie Substance was a good horror flick. And my wife likes horror movies. I don't like horror movies. First of all, the premise is I can't dispel this, but I can't get rid of my disbelief long enough to enjoy a good horror movie. Most of them. So this one, but they said it was good, whoever it was. And it must be somebody that I like because I don't usually take advice from people or recommendations.
Anybody, right? No, you're not. Even if you love them, you're like, "Fuck
right.
you."
And so
I know.
I recorded the movie. My wife and I watched it together.
Cheap Henderson, I know.
And my wife and I watched it together, and it was awful. And not only that, we kept watching. We kept thinking, "Is it going to get better? Is it going to get better? Is it going to get better?" And I said to my wife, "Well, all the exciting stuff happens at the end. They're going at the end is when all the exciting stuff must happen." And it was awful. It was terrible. And my wife, she didn't say to me at the time. She says, "This was a pretty bad movie," and I apologized to her. I'm sorry. I don't remember who recommended it, but they seemed so excited about it and recommended it, and it must have been somebody that I trusted or something, because I would not have just put you through this.
So
and I thought it was, and then I thought it was done, and then we saw the previews for the movie again, and my wife goes, "Oh, The Substance. That was a good movie that you made me watch." I'm like, "Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's forget it." And then they previewed the movie again. They promoted the movie again, and they go like, "The Substance." And I was like, my wife goes, "Yeah, that was a good movie." I was like, "All right. How many are we gonna every time we see the preview for The Substance, are you gonna like remind me that I had you watch a bad movie?" I'm sorry. It was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I would be. With my wife, if she made me watch something I hated, I would never let her forget it. Like this is a good excuse to never watch anything again. Though, this is I don't like watching stuff.
My wife likes movies like Halloween. Like she watches Halloween every year on Halloween. Okay. Now I watch Nightmare Before Christmas every year on Halloween and also at Christmas.
No.
And the thing is, I don't want to watch it as much as my wife says. My wife, will have me watch Halloween with her, and so she goes, "Don't you want to put it? Don't you want to watch Nightmare Before Christmas?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I do like it, but I like to sing it. I like the singing. I like the musical part.
No, here's what you do. Let's watch The Godfather again. That's what you say. Let's watch The Godfather again.
No, but I do have to watch Goodfellas.
That's a Christmas movie. I don't know if you know that about The Godfather.
I know it's a wedding movie. I know it's the first 20 minutes is a wedding movie. So,
then it becomes a Christmas movie.
Goodfellas. I haven't watched Goodfellas yet. I have to watch Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's not so much a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but I need to watch it if I'm going to parody those two movies.
All right, we're way over time. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because I gotta pee.
Yeah, I gotta go get ready for a VA show. So Tomorrow we'll be talking movies, right? Tomorrow Vietnam Apache Blues, Welcome Home, with the directors Dustin Sweet and his other co-director will be with us. Anyway, that's what we have in store for you tomorrow. Please drop in then. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your aliens who are coming on a rock to visit, and get ready for the big I Got a Rock, Charlie Brown. Atlas 31.
I got a rock.
Right. And till then, don't forget to turn on your radio. Have a great day. Bye for now.
Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.